Very good evening and welcome back inside FirstEnergy Stadium as we get set to begin a three-game weekend series and a nine-game homestand coming out of the All-Star break. Welcome into our pregame show. I'm Jake Starr. My broadcast partner Bob McCool will be joining myself in just a little bit. But first, we will look ahead to the beginning of this weekend's three-game series between the Fightin Phils and the Portland Sea Dogs. Fightin Phils coming off a series last week in Chesapeake against the Bay Sox down in Bowie, Maryland. Reading ultimately took 3 of 6 games over the Bay Sox, which included a 5-3 win on Sunday. Of course, one of the positives from that series, the week of Cade Fergus was strong, but really also for the Phils, the starting pitching was excellent for starting pitchers in Jimenez, McGarry, Cabrera, and tonight's starter Chuck King combined over 21 innings pitched to have just a 1.71 ERA. So tonight against Portland, we'll see if that trend continues with Chuck King on the mound. It'll be Dalton Rogers on the other side making the start for the Sea Dogs. See if the Phils can find a way to get the Rogers early and often in tonight's ball game. So we're going to step aside for a moment, take our first break on tonight's pregame show. When we come back, we're joined by Fightin Phils infielder Nick Dunn, a local product here to Reading. Is from Sunbury, Pennsylvania, by Bucknell University, not too far from Williamsport. So we'll catch up with Nick Dunn when our pregame show rolls on after this on the Fightin Phils Radio Network. Back on the pregame show here on the Fightin Phillies radio network. Reading and Portland a couple of minutes away from getting game number 1 of 3 started this weekend. It'll be Chuck King on the mound, and it'll be Dalton Rogers who gets the ball for the Sea Dogs. Once again, I'm Jake Starr, joined alongside my broadcast partner, Bob McCool. And Bob, first of all, welcome in, welcome back. It's been a while, 15 days, but for the Phils, starting pitching has kind of been the key for them, and tonight they're going to look to get 5 or really 6 quality innings out of King, and then see if the bats can get the Rogers early and often tonight.
Yeah, and Chuck King has kind of settled into that stabilizing spot in the rotation. He's a guy who's not going to blow you away with anything. But at the end of the night, he has been very much of a model of consistency, especially over the course of his last several starts, and he's going to give you 5, and if hopefully, as you said, 6 innings is the key. And if he can do that, keep the ball in the ballpark, and he doesn't get himself in trouble with walks, and that's a key to success. There's no doubt about it.
So we're just waiting for King and the Phils to take the field, and just as we say that, they come spilling out of the dugout. Chuck King and the Fightin Phillies playing tonight as Los Luchadores de Reading are taking the field. Bob, any final thoughts before we step aside one final time tonight?
Well, again, we're going down the home stretch now. It's the second half of the season, but we're much further past the halfway mark, and want to see some continued development and some thunder a little bit out of the bats over the course of the last several weeks here in Baseball Town.
Fightin Phillies are on the field, and with that, that'll wrap up tonight's pregame show. We'll step aside for a moment, and we come back. We'll have lineups and first pitch for game number 1 between the Reading Fightin Phillies and the Portland Sea Dogs. Good evening and welcome inside FirstEnergy Stadium, America's Classic Ballpark. Game number 1 of 3 between the Fightin Phillies and the Portland Sea Dogs this weekend. Game number 1 of 9 of a homestand for the Fightin Phillies. So should be a good one coming out of the All-Star break. It's been 4 days off for the Fightin Phillies and Sea Dogs, so I'm sure everybody is excited to get some baseball back going here tonight. Let's meet our starting lineups. We'll start with the visiting Sea Dogs. It'll be Mikey Romero who leads things off. He'll play third base. James Tibbs bats second, plays first. Alan Castro third in right. Zach Earhart cleans things up. He'll play left. Ronald Rosario is fifth, the eighth. Brooks Brennan, sixth, will catch. Max Ferguson in center bats seventh. Marvin Alcantara bats eighth, plays short. Abram Liendo ninth at second. It'll be Dalton Rogers on the mound for the Sea Dogs. We'll have his numbers more for you here in a couple of moments. And on the Reading side, Aiden Miller leads off, plays short. Carson DiMartini bats second, plays third. Felix Reyes bats third and is in right field. Paul McIntosh, DH, bats fourth. Alex Pinellas is fifth. He'll play first. Dylan Campbell, sixth in center. Caleb Ricketts, 7th. He is the catcher. Eric Brito, 8th. Whole play, 2nd. And Kate Fergus, bats 9th, plays left. On the mound for the Fightin Phils tonight, the right-handed arm, Chuck King.
Chuck King making his 15th start for the Fightin Phils. He is 4-3 with a 4.41 earned run average. In 79 and 2/3 innings pitched, he's given up 90 hits. That's kind of his MO. He's going to give up hits, but he's not going to get himself in trouble with walks. He's struck out 62. He's walked 14. He has surrendered 14 home runs, but again, as we talked about a moment ago in the pregame show, what he's going to give you is 5 or 6 innings almost every time out, just going back through. In 9 consecutive starts, he has gone at least 5 innings for the Fightin Phils. So he has given them some length, and it may not seem like a lot to some old standard baseball people that only go 5 or 6 innings, but if you look at the way the game is played anymore, 5, 6 innings of quality baseball can get you not only some opportunities, but it's going to get you an opportunity to start every 5 days, and that's been the case for Chuck King.
So King has finished up his warm-up tosses. Mikey Romero is set to dig in on a beautiful Friday night. 82 degrees, sunny skies, not a cloud to be found. Wind pretty much non-existent. Of course, our game time temperature presented by All Temp Enterprises. So Mikey Romero digs in from the left side, leads things off for Chad Epperson Sea Dogs. And Chuck King from the stretch fires the first one home. And it's on the inside corner for a called strike. It's 0-1. First pitch fired home at 7:02 tonight, couple of minutes behind our regularly scheduled 7 p.m. start. Pitch on from King, swung on, a dribbler towards short. Miller charges, glove, sets himself, fires the first in time. That's out number 1, so give us a chance to set the rest of the Reading Fightin Phils defense. So Miller at short, joining him on the left side is Carson DiMartini at third. Eric Brito plays second, Alex Benelis at first. In the outfield, it's Felix Reyes in right, Dylan Campbell in center, Kate Fergus plays left, and Caleb Ricketts is the battery mate for Chuck King tonight. So that'll bring James Tibbs to the plate for the Sea Dogs. First pitch home is a fastball right down the chute. It's 0-1. Tibbs, a .257 hitter since joining Portland. Was part of the return package in the trade that sent Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants last month. 0-1. Just misses inside, 1-1. Was with High A Eugene to start the season in the Giants system. So first crack at Double-A comes with Portland. The 1-1 is a bit low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike to the lefty bat. Just 1 home run for Tibbs. This is 20th game with Portland. He's driven in 5 since joining the Sea Dogs. Next pitch home is top of the zone for a called strike. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he has not so far shown that power that he showed in Eugene. In Eugene, he had 13 home runs, only 1 so far since his time with the Sea Dogs.
You add in 10 doubles and a triple as well. Tibbs was an extra base machine. Kind of was that centerpiece of the return for Devers. 2-2. This is down to the changeup. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Tibbs. King last time out a week ago on Friday at Chesapeake. No decision, 6 innings, 3 hits, a run. He did strike out 6. That was the most he's had this season and in his very brief professional career. 3-2 is a bit down. That's ball 4. So 1 out walk for James Tibbs, first base runner for either side tonight. And that'll bring Alan Castro to the plate.
Well, we said in the pregame that that's not something that King does much of, which is get himself in trouble. And again, for a guy who has had his difficulty of keeping the ball in the ballpark, especially here in baseball town, not something that he wants to do, which is give up a free pass.
First pitch to Castro, over for a called strike. It's 0-1. 14 home runs allowed this year by King, which is most in the Eastern League. And 12 of those 14 have come here at home. But it's a number that's been a lot better as of late, as the results have kind of followed for Chuck King, who fires the 0-1. Misses down, ball and a strike. He has not allowed a home run in 5 of his last 7 outings, and just 2 over that stretch, which spans 39 1/3 innings pitched. So Much better job as of late by Chuck King, keeping the ball in the ballpark. 1-1 the count to Alan Castro. The righty, a long look in, sets the letters and fires home. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2.
Nice changeup there by Chuck King. And a changeup up high, which is a little bit something that most hitters aren't going to see a whole lot of. And lefties generally like the ball down low. So he's got to be thinking as he's standing there, as Castro, he's getting something up high. It's got to be a fastball, and instead it's the changeup.
Double play depth for the defense. King fires the 1-2, and he rolls it over right side. It would erase it down as Brito fires a nice throw to first. It's in time. Up to second goes James Tibbs. So 2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring the left fielder Zach Earhart to the plate.
Real nice job by Brito to get to the ball, and really outstretched at the same time to get there. And then the off-balance throw, because everything about him is carrying him into right field and away from the first base bag. You got to stop and plant and throw across your body, but he did put it on the money for Benelis.
So Zach Earhart digs in right side. Slightly open stance for him, and the first pitch shown is there for a called strike. Earhart 244 since his promotion to AA Portland. That came back on May the 20th, so just before Reading's last series with the Sea Dogs. The weekend heading into Memorial Day back in May. 0-1. Earhart takes it outside, a ball and a strike. Earhart joins his brother Drew on the team. Drew, the older brother, 26 years old. Zach, a 22-year-old. Drew, sparingly played catcher for the Sea Dogs. Been here the last couple of years. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2.
That's got to be awesome. If you play minor league baseball with your brother, I mean, you've no doubt played with him over the course of your life. But once you get into the ability, first of all, to have 2 brothers in professional baseball, how much of that happens? But then to be in the same organization and to be at different levels in your career. One's 3 years older than the other, but to be able to have that opportunity to play an entire minor league system, or part of a minor league season with your brother, that's got to be an awesome feeling.
2 outs in the first, 1-2. Earhart takes it down, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Drew and Zach Earhart are the 4th set of brothers that can currently play for the Sea Dogs at the same time. One of those 4 actually happened to be Dusty Wathan and his brother.
Oh.
So a little connection there between the Earhart brothers and the Wathan brothers. 2-2 from King. Over for a called strike 3. Dotted the outside corner against the lefty Zach Earhart. So first strikeout tonight for King ends the top half of the first inning. No runs, no hits. 1 man left for the Sea Dogs. We played a half. Portland nothing. Reading is coming to bat. Scoreless ball game, bottom 1. And one more time, let's give you the Fightin' Phil's starting lineup presented by Golden Oaks Landscaping. It's Ada Miller, Carson DiMartini, Felix Reyes, Paul McIntosh, Alex Benelis, and Dylan Campbell. Caleb Ricketts, Eric Brito, and Cade Fergus. We'll go against the lefty for the Sea Dogs, Dalton Rogers.
Rogers in his 10th appearance with the Sea Dogs, his 7th start after his call out from Greenville. And with the Sea Dogs, he's 2-2 with a 4.85 earned run average in 39 innings pitched, giving up 35 hits. He's struck out 46, but he's also walked 22. Giving up just 2 home runs, however, so far with his time with Portland.
So Ada Miller digs in from the right hand of the batter's box. Slightly open stance for him. And Rogers, the lefty, will fire the first one home, and Miller will swing it and lift it foul and out of play. It's 0-1.
Rogers in his time with Greenville was more reliever than starter. Now, again, that's only 5 appearances with Greenville before being called up to Portland, but only made 1 start at high A.
0-1. Miller will take that one a bit outside, a ball and a strike. Rest of the defense for the Sea Dogs. Tibbs at first, Liendo second, Alcantara at short, Romero third. Earhart in left, Ferguson center, Castro right, and Brannon is the catcher. 1-1. Miller takes that one up and away, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, one of the things you said in the pregame show, Jake, anything about going into this piece of the season, this is the one thing I still want to see. Still have not seen Aiden Miller go on a hot streak.
We've seen a glimpse of the power. We've seen him on the bases. The 2-1 is on the inside corner, 2-2. It just felt like every time he was getting there, something happened. Right? It was the 2-week absence. I think that was really, I think right before that he was swinging a good bat, and then the issue happened, and it kind of, hampers your timing. 2-2. Miller swings, hits it in the air, shallow center. Back goes Liendo. In comes Ferguson. The center fielder is there, and he'll make the catch. That's out number 1, and that'll bring Carson DiMartini to the plate. So DiMartini will dig in from the left side. Quiet week last week at Chesapeake for him. Just 4 for 24 overall. Did double, but he struck out 8 times. 1 out here in a scoreless first. Dalton Rogers will rock and deal. And DiMartini swings, and he hits it hard, but it's fouled on the right field line. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. It was a quality start for Rogers last time out, 9 days ago against Hartford. 6 innings, 2 runs, 2 hits, struck out 3. Did walk 3 as well. Threw 86 pitches, so length not really an issue for Rogers, despite him pitching out of the bullpen a lot more earlier in the season. 0-1. That one misses up. It's a ball and a strike. Like Reading, Sea Dogs split their series last week against Hartford at home. Portland won the last 3 after dropping the first 3. Tale of 2 series, basically. The 1-1. DiMartini will watch a breaking pitch by for a strike. It's 1-2 to the lefty. Reading, of course, won game 2 Thursday. They won Saturday, and they won Sunday. The 1-2, and DiMartini takes that down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So alternating wins in Chesapeake last week, which took some use to saying because they're still saying the Bowie Bay Sox for the last 30 years.
Right, and they still play in Bowie.
Yeah, it's still Bowie, Maryland. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Carson DiMartini. Hitting .224. This is 29th Double-A game. The pitch home, he swings and he rockets it foul, this time on the third base side. The count stays even at 2 apiece. DiMartini was on a season best 15 game on base streak, June 20th to July the 11th. That was tied for the second longest our Phil's on base streak this season. But was hitless on Sunday. The 2-2 swung on and a ground ball served the second. 3 hops for retreating Abram Liendo. Vacuums it up, fires the first in time. And that is out number 2. And that'll bring Felix Reyes to the plate for the Phils. So Reyes digs in from the right side. Did not play at all last week. Was out with a hip contusion. Suffered that in the Sunday finale against Somerset back on July the 6th. First pitch, he swings and welcome back Felix Reyes. He blitzes it right through the middle for a base hit. And that didn't take long for the Phil's leading hitter to get aboard. A 1-out single for Reyes.
Not for the hit machine that is Felix Reyes. First pitch he sees, turns on it, hits it hard right back through the middle.
So that'll bring the right-handed bat Paul McIntosh to the plate.
I get the feeling that if Felix Reyes rolled out of bed in the middle of January and you gave him a bat, he's still going to hit.
I think so, too.
He'd swing hard. You know that for sure.
So McIntosh will dig on in from the right side. 2 outs here on a scoreless first. Rogers fires, and McIntosh takes it down, 1-0. Good week last week for McIntosh, was 5 for 10. Currently on a 5-game hit and a 9-game on base streak. Both of those marks are a season high. Usually the catcher, but DHs tonight. The 1-0, and McIntosh will take that at the knees for a called strike. It's 1-1. A sinker at 91 from Dalton Rogers. Played his college ball at Southern Mississippi. Third-round pick of the Red Sox in 2022. The 1-1, and McIntosh swings, and he flares it back and out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rogers spent just 1 season at Southern Miss. Did not pitch collegiately in 2021. Did pitch on the Cape that summer with Katuitt. He spent the shortened 2020 season at Southeast Louisiana University. He's up 1 ball, 2 strikes on McIntosh. But first he'll check on Reyes, who stumbled for a moment getting back, but he does get in safely. McIntosh, 277, 5 home runs. He's driven in 21. 1-2. That one's down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 17 pitches in this first inning for Dalton Rogers. Was a reliever, 24-year-old, now pitching as a starter. Reyes leads off first, 2 outs. And the pitch home. McIntosh again swings, and he fouls it back. It's been a lot of really good at-bats as of late for Paul McIntosh. I've been kind of just getting a chance to play more consistently. Of course, he missed about a month to start the year with that knee injury, and had some good stretches, struggled a little bit, but this is kind of the best stretch of baseball McIntosh has played this year. In the 2-2, he swings at a curveball, and it's foul. A chopper down the third base line. Just a really good at-bat here, too.
Yeah, he's just fouling pitches off until he gets one that he can time up right now. He's doing a very good job of just getting a piece of the baseball. Hasn't put a really hard swing on any of these. They're very protective swings with 2 strikes, just getting a piece of it, keeping himself alive. Hoping to see a better pitch and one he can time up.
Next one will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat to McIntosh. Rogers ready at the belt from the middle of the rubber. The lefty fires. McIntosh swings and he drives it towards the right center field gap. That's down for a base hit. It'll roll up the alley and towards the wall. Reyes towards third. He'll stop there. Castro, the right fielder, got it in quickly. And it's a 2-out double for Paul McIntosh, his 5th of the year. And the Fightin Phils were in business with Alex Pinellas coming up.
Just as we were talking about, looking for a pitch that he liked a little bit better. That pitch, a little bit down in the zone, about thigh high, and McIntosh just reached down and put a charge into that ball. And unfortunately for the Phils, Felix Reyes running hard, but not a fast base runner. In addition to which, the ball was hit so hard it got to the wall in a hurry. And Al Padrique thought about it for a moment, but put the stop sign to hold Reyes at third base. And they still need something else here with 2 outs from Pinellas.
Pinellas in from the right side. First pitch home. He swings and he pops it up. Mile high, shallow right. Liendo, the second baseman, drifts back. Castro, the right fielder, is in. He'll call him off and make the catch. And that will retire the side here in the first. So for the Phils, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 left on base. We'll head to the second. Reading and Portland still scoreless. International Fireworks, the official sponsor of the Artfels Fireworks shows during the 2025 season. Head to their store, 242 Sycamore Road in Douglasville, or visit fireworksrus.com. So we go to the top of the second inning. Fightin Phils and Sea Dogs knotted up at 0-0. Chuck King back on the mound for inning number 2 at work. It'll be Ronald Rosario who leads off for the Sea Dogs. 5, 6, 7 due up. And we are very excited to be joined by Sheik Mia, the marketing director for PA Charter School and also their director of summer camps. PA Virtual Charter School, of course, is one of our awesome partners for tonight's fireworks shows, and I know many other fireworks shows throughout the 2025 season. So Sheik, I know you're a familiar guest up here. We kept that seat nice and warm for you, so welcome back, and how are things going?
Thank you so much. Things have been going great. We actually are in the big swing of things with our summer camp. We are about to enter actually our final week, and school is right around the corner. First day of school for new students is August 11th, which will be our 25th year of doing virtual education here in the great state of Pennsylvania. 25
years. Well, big congratulations to PA Virtual Charter School for that. The first pitch to Rosario was a strike, second one's a ball. It's 1-1. So people hear summer camp, they hear virtual, and they probably think, how does that kind of work? And I know obviously camp's almost over, but for someone who's thinking, what am I going to do with my kids summer of 2026? Why is, PA Virtual Charter School maybe a good spot to send your kid for summer camp?
Sure. I think the two big things is, one, it's a free thing that we do for a couple hours each day. You could sign up anytime as well. So if you wanted to sign up for the final week and see what we do, you could still do that.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Rosario.
The other big thing, though, is that what we do is we do activities every single day for a couple hours. We send well in advance what type of arts and crafts we're doing or science experiments. This week coming up is Global Explorers Week, so it's all about traveling and stuff all around the world. And it's done by our certified teachers. So our own teachers are the ones teaching the lessons with the kids.
2-2 home, line drive, Aiden Miller dives and makes the catch. What a play by the Fightin shortstop. Full extension deep in the hole, and that is out number 1. Pretty nice play, don't you say, Sheik?
Absolutely.
Take another look at it if you're watching on MILB TV. So talk about the summer camps, and obviously you said school starts August 11th. Just talk about what are the preparations like for the upcoming school year, and if people are interested in maybe enrolling their kid or just trying to learn some more, is there still time to do that for the upcoming school year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So one big thing about us is we have rolling admissions. What that means is that we're able to enroll your child even after the school year starts. And we service all over Pennsylvania, including a lot of students right here in Reading and all over Berks County. And the big thing is that we give everything that your child needs. So we give a computer, we give all the lessons, we have live lessons.
Next pitch is a strike, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike here to Brooks Brannon, 1 out in the second scoreless game.
We're also able to do what's called asynchronous classes. So if you were a homeschool parent that just needed help with coming up with the curriculum for your child, we can provide that as well.
2 balls, 1 strike to count now to Brannon. And, when you're talking to parents and they're saying, I'm thinking about sending my kid to PA Virtual Charter School, why, PA Virtual over whether it's an in-person experience or just other virtual schools in the area?
Well, for me, I think it's, one, our experience. As I mentioned, we're about to enter our 25th year. We've been doing this since 2001. But 2, we have teachers and students from all over Pennsylvania. So you're going to get that unique experience of your child might make friends with somebody who lives in Erie, and then someone else that lives in Philly, and someone else that lives in Harrisburg. And that's an experience you don't get just anywhere. And our teachers are so supportive, and they are there for the students. We are able to do a lot of in-person events. We do stuff even when we're not in class, such as our summer camps. And this year, being our 25th year, we're going to be doing some extra special stuff all over the state.
2-2 to Brannon. He swings, fouls it off himself. So you talked about kind of what the camp looks like from the virtual side. What about school? I mean, school's starting up. I know there's maybe some kids out there who are hearing that and maybe shivering a little bit hearing the word school coming back. But, what's a day in the life? I know not every day is the same, but what's a typical day look like for maybe a student of PA Virtual Charter School?
Well, that's the cool thing about our school.
That one swung on, hit in the air towards center. Campbell tracks back. He has room, and he'll make the catch for out number 2.
You made that look really easy, too. But the thing with our school is that we're able to tailor our classes to what your child needs. So if your child is looking for a typical type of school day, just being able to do it from home, we're We start classes at 8:10. You go to homeroom, then you go to your first period, your second period, your third period. We have breaks in between classes like you would normally, have in a regular school. One cool thing about us, we teach kindergarten through 12th grade. If you have a third grader and an 8th grader, doesn't matter. They have lunch at 11 a.m. So that way, if you have multiple kids in the school, you all have lunch at the same time. School gets done like about 2:30, 3 o'clock. We have over 40 different clubs if you want to join some after-school clubs, programs, things like that, including anything from honor society to clubs that have to do with theater, to clubs that have to do with robotics. And we do classes Monday through Thursday. Friday, we have classes as well. However, those are more independent. If you're a high school student, it's when you can meet with your teachers, like if it's a college prep type deal.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Ferguson. This Kings working ahead here with 2 outs in the second.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just very, very unique in that regard as well. Not to mention for younger kids, we do outings all across the state every single Friday so that way they can get together in person as well.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count here to Ferguson. So for those that are here at the ballpark tonight, maybe walking through the concourse right now, grabbing a drink, grabbing something to eat, and they're hearing us on the air. I know you guys have a table here tonight. Where can they find you, and what can they kind of get and learn at that table?
I would say go to pavirtual.com if you're not going to our table, and very simple to remember, pavirtual.com. Then we have a bunch of info there, but there's also some downloadable content that you could get. We have that content at our table right now as well that you can grab. That gives you a synopsis about the school, and you could always schedule something to talk with one of us as well, to talk specifically about if your child's entering 3rd grade or 8th grade or 12th grade. If your child's looking to be challenged, we have Honor Society and early graduation. If your child's a little behind and you're looking for them to be caught up, we have that as well. Most importantly, we allowed you, the parent, to be more involved in your child's education.
3-2, swing and a miss. King sends Ferguson down on strikes. His second tonight, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chuck King. Before we head to the bottom half of the second inning, Sheikh Mia, Director of Marketing and Summer Camps at PA Virtual Charter School. As always, thanks so much for the time.
Absolutely, thank you.
We're headed to the bottom half of the second. Still scoreless here on the Fightin' Phillies Radio Network. This inning is brought to you by Cornwall Manor, an active senior living, not-for-profit community in scenic Cornwall, PA, outside of Lebanon. So we're still scoreless here in the bottom half of the second inning. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for Reading here in the frame once again. Along with Bob McCool, I am Jake Starr. Appreciate you spending part of your Friday night here with us. A beautiful Friday night and a pretty nice crowd on hand as well, as the grandstands have really filled in nicely along with the group areas tonight. On just a absolutely gorgeous Friday night. And dare I say, we've been owed a night like tonight for a while based on how Mother Nature has treated us for a lot of this year. Nonetheless, though, Dalton Rogers is back out, the lefty, and it'll be the righty Dylan Campbell who leads off this home half of the second. First pitch, Campbell swings, lifts into the air. Lazy fly ball drifting down the right field line. Tibbs, the first baseman, is over. He can't get there to land on the warning track. It's 0-1.
Tibbs was looking for some help throughout that
he was looking for
route.
Castro. He just never really came in.
He was looking for either his second baseman, Leando, who did not even really make an effort for it, or hoping that Castro, the right fielder, would come and bail him out, because Tibbs had to go a long way to go get that. That ball ended up landing down by the tarp, and it's a very difficult play for most first basemen to chase it straight back. And he was hoping for the cavalry to come and help him call him off.
Campbell takes the 0-1 for a ball. It's a ball and a strike now. Campbell, 189. It was a tough road trip for him. It was just 1 for 17. Didn't have a hit in 5 straight games. Finally doubled in the series finale to break that. 1-1 misses down and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Campbell had a pretty slow start to the year with Jersey Shore, then really turned things up in June once he started to get comfortable at that level. So we'll see if he can turn things up again. Here's the 2-1. He swings, ground ball towards short. 4 hops for Alcantara, who waits back on it. His throw across is in time. They get the speedster Campbell for out number 1. So that'll bring Caleb Ricketts to the plate. Catcher tonight, .235 on the year, just his 24th game. As he digs in from the left-handed batter's box, and the first pitch from the lefty Rogers, and Ricketts swings, hits it in the air towards right, pretty much right to Castro, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. A little bit in on the hands there of Caleb Ricketts, and that'll bring Eric Brito to the plate.
Yeah, Ricketts is another one you're just kind of waiting for him to break loose a little bit. Really came off the IL swinging a really good bat, but that kind of fizzled out quickly and has yet to really kind of get himself into any kind of a good groove.
Scoreless game, bottom 2. 2 outs. First pitch to Brito. He swings, hits it in the air well, deep left. Earhart's back. He gets to the track. He feels to the wall, and he'll make the catch just a step in front of the wall, and that will retire the side here in a very quick bottom half of the 2nd inning. Our fill's down in order. We played 2 on to the 3rd, still scoreless between Reading and Portland. This inning is brought to you by Cornwall Manor, an active senior living not-for-profit community in scenic Cornwall, PA, outside of Lebanon. So we're still scoreless, top of the 3rd. Chuck King is back out, and he'll face 8, 9, and 1 of the Sea Dogs lineup. There'll be Marvin Alcantara, Albram Liendo, and Mikey Romero. The 3-2 up for manager Chad Epperson in this 3rd inning. And didn't even have time to in the bottom of the 2nd because the inning was so darn quick. Give a big thank you, of course, to Sheik Mia, a good friend of the program, I guess we could say at this point, for joining us in the top half of the 2nd inning. Sheik Mia from PA Virtual Charter School. Always a pleasure having him on, and you can check out PA Virtual's table down in the Diamond Credit Union Plaza tonight. So King, who's not just the 1 walk so far, nothing else. Works here against Alcantara. Very open stance from the right side for him. And King's first one home is a check swing. Doesn't matter. It's a slider for a strike. It's 0-1.
It was a highly efficient 2nd inning in the top half for Chuck King. It was even more efficient for Dalton Rogers in the bottom of the 2nd. It was a 6-pitch inning for Dalton Rogers to get 1, 2, 3.
0-1, swung on, lifted. First base side, foul territory. Pinellas over towards the dugout suite, and it'll land a couple of rows deep in the right field grandstand, 0-2. Just got a notification out of Philadelphia. Bryce Harper, a 3-run home run.
Woo!
Phillies jump on top 4-1, so.
It matches, well, it doesn't match because he hit a 3-run home run, but Kyle Schwarber hit a home run for the run in the 1st inning. So Schwarber just kind of rolled it over from the end of the All-Star game.
0-2, swung on, ground ball, 3rd, and foul. It stays no balls, 2 strikes.
Nobody could use a Bryce Harper hitting streak quite like the Phillies could use right now. I mean, Bryce Harper gets it rolling. There is Look, it might not be anybody better in the game as there is to begin with, but when Bryce Harper is rolling away, Bryce Harper can roll. He is fun to watch.
So now the last 4 swings, the Schwarber home run on the first pitch
Correct.
he saw from Schwarber have all been home runs. Of course, the 3, you could argue whether they were actual home runs or not. They went over the fence and they counted for something.
Got him an MVP award.
Yeah, the 0-2 is bought out Contra 1 and 2. I was kicking myself, and I hate to admit this, but kind of dozed off around the top of the 9th inning.
I didn't see it, I got to admit. I saw it all
I woke up
post-mortem, but I didn't see it live.
middle of the night, checked my phone. I was like, man, I guess I missed something. 1-2, swung on, lifted in the air towards left center, not deep. Over towards the alley goes the center footer Campbell. He'll make the catch. That's out number 1, and that'll bring Abram Liendo to the plate. But today, the Phillies, along with the city of Philadelphia, officially, I guess, have taken the torch for the All-Star game in 2026. The logo was revealed. I know they have kind of a statue of it plastered in straightaway center field. So that'll be cool to see. I'll be down there on Monday night, so looking forward to seeing that. Lando will take the first pitch down. It's 1-0.
Phillies hosted the All-Star break in the bicentennial year in 1976, and so now for the 250th anniversary, we'll host it again in 2026.
It only makes sense. 1-0 is a changeup, bit inside, 2-0 to Liendo.
And should Kyle Schwarber re-sign with the Phillies, and should Kyle Schwarber be in the home run derby next year, even if he's not with the Phillies, if he's going to be in the home run derby next year.
That would be devastating if he's not with the Phillies and he's in it. He did say, I think he wants to do it next year.
He did.
2-0 misses inside, 3-0. He said
because
not
he knows
this
it's
year.
going to be in Philly.
Yeah.
And either way, he's going to be the hometown favorite. If he's a Philly or if he's not a Philly, he's going to be a hometown favorite.
Wonder if Harper would consider doing it too next year because it'll be at home. 3-0 is down ball 4. So 4-pitch walk to Liendo. Second one issued by King tonight. That'll bring Mikey Romero to the plate because the year Harper won the home run derby, it was in Washington when he was playing for the Nationals. He actually, you know who he beat in the last round?
I did see this, and I forget who it was.
Kyle Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber.
Schwarber, of course, was on the Cubs at that point.
Right. Well, I would say that if Schwarber is not a Philly and is in it, then maybe Harper says yes. But obviously, if Schwarber's in it, I think Harper says, nah, I'm good.
Runner starts and stops. Romero swings the first pitch. Skies in the air towards left center. Back and over goes Campbell. And the center footer makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring James Tibbs to the plate. So next year's All-Star game will be the first in Philadelphia since 1996. Of course, that along with the 1976 game both happened at Veterans Stadium. This will be the first one that Citizens Bank Park hosts, which is really surprising because MLB likes to give new ballparks All-Star games pretty early.
Yeah, you wonder if, I mean, was it that
first
far?
First pitch to Tibbs, the swing and a miss, 0-1. Did they
Did
have the
think
idea?
that far in advance to say, I mean, if the Citizens Bank opened in 2004, to make them wait that long for it just to say, well, you're going to get it in 2026. Just sit tight for 22 years, you'll get it.
I know David Montgomery, the late, great David Montgomery, was a huge proponent for getting the All-Star game back in Philly. Next pitch is a strike, runner goes, throw to second is late. It was a great jump for Liendo, who swipes his team best 23rd bag of the year. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count here to James Tibbs.
Yeah, Ricketts had 0 shot to get him. Plus, he was really blocked out by the batter Tibbs.
So 2 outs here, top of the 3rd. Still a scoreless ball game between Reading and Portland. King fires, clips the outside corner with a changeup. It's 1-2 to the lefty. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the Phillies organization that the first person they think of next year when the All-Star games happen is David Montgomery, just because of how much it meant to him. And, of course, when they made that announcement back in 2019. 1-2 is swung on, lifted into the air towards left. Not deep, pretty much straight away. Fergus, the left fielder, will come in a couple, make the catch, and that retires the side in the 3rd. So no runs, no hits. 1 man left on base for the Sea Dogs. We'll head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Still scoreless. Back after this on the Fightin' Phils Radio Network. Bottom half of the third inning is brought to you by Swartz Culleton PC. You can expect reliable and experienced attorneys who are committed to getting you justice after a serious personal injury. Call Swartz Culleton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. So bottom three, scoreless ball game here between Reading and Portland. Our Phils will send 9-1-2 up to the plate here in the frame. It'll be Kate Fergus coming off a good week at Chesapeake last week. I'll get things started with the lineup card for manager Al Pedrique. Rolls over for the first time tonight. Pedrique, third base coach for the Phils. Michael Jones in his usual spot at first. First pitch to Kate Fergus is a slider. Misses up. It's 1 ball and no strikes. So go week last week for Fergus. 5 for 12 overall against the Bay Sox over 4 games. 1-0 is another slider he takes up. 2 balls, no strikes.
Kind of a precarious spot right now for sun and shadows. The home plate is covered right now in shadow, but the very front of it is in sun.
2-0. Another slider. This one finally gets the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Pitcher right now is mostly in sun, but a little bit of shadow. But there's a shadow from a light pole that's right through the middle between pitcher and hitter.
2-1. Fergus will take it down. So hitters count early here to Kate Fergus, who had a grand slam last Thursday at Chesapeake, which was the 4th grand slam of his professional career, which only spans back to 2022. So that's a lot for not that long of a span. 3-1. Fergus swinging a miss, 3-2. Went for a sinker on the outside part of the plate. The grand slam also came with a career high 4 RBI. 4th time in his career he's done that. All the times he's hit grand slams. 3-2, and he'll take that on the inside corner, called strike 3. So Kate Fergus goes down on strikes. That's the first strikeout tonight for Dalton Rogers. And that'll bring Aiden Miller to the plate for the Fightin' Phils.
Well, both these pitchers have been effective tonight, and they have not done it by way of striking guys out, and it will keep your pitch count down. Now, Chuck King has walked 2 guys. Neither one of them has hurt him. But, you know, the
First pitch to Miller, big swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
The game is so much about strikeouts anymore, but that ultimately will force you to throw a lot more pitches. But if you can induce contact and get guys out.
Next pitch to Miller is down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's what we talked about with King. It's why he's been able to consistently go out there for 5 and 6 innings every night. And as Jake said, even though that Dalton Rogers began this year as a reliever, he's gotten himself to the point where he can get length with his starts.
86 his last time out. 1-1. Miller takes a slider up. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rogers has left that slider up a handful of times tonight. If he leaves one up in the zone and you're the Phils, you got to be taking note and saying, hey, I find a way to pound on that. 2-1 pitch. Miller swings, fouls it back. It's 2-2.
That gets back to what we were talking about a little bit ago about the sun and the shadow. So if you're watching the ball now, it's kind of the pitcher's a little bit of both. He's a little bit of sun, he's a little bit of shadow, and because he's left-handed, he's a little bit, the ball's coming out of shadow, then he's going through sun, then shade, then sun again, and back to you in shade.
2-2 the count to Miller. Pitch home. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. So after not having a strikeout through the first 8 batters he's faced tonight, Dalton Rogers has K'd the last 2. And with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd, that'll bring Carson DiMartini to the plate.
And you wonder if that doesn't have something to do with it. I mean, again, you're trying to pick up the spin, you're trying to pick up what the pitch is. And as I said, the ball is changing its look on you as you're coming in the blink of an eye going through the sun and the shade.
First one to DiMartini. He'll roll it over and foul it. First base line, it's 0-1.
That was a really good job there by DiMartini to keep that front shoulder in there on the first pitch slider.
Like I said, I'm sure the Phils are taking note.
Yep, if it's up high, I mean, again, the sliders are up high. So if you're looking for it or you see it, you realize where it's going to be in the zone.
Rogers fires, and DiMartini takes it down. It's a ball and a strike. Sea Dogs in their red alternate road uniforms tonight. So opting against the Grays for the first game of this weekend set. Sea Dogs in blue across the front. The Fightin' Phillies in their Los Luchadores Day Redding Fiesta Friday jerseys this evening. And Rogers 1-1 is swung on, hit in the air by DeMartini. Towards straightaway center field. Ferguson over to his right a couple of steps, and he'll make the catch. And that'll retire the side here in the third. So 3 down for the Fightin' Phils. 7 straight retired by Dalton Rogers. We'll head to the 4th inning. Fightin' Phils and Sea Dogs still gridlocked at nothing. Top half of the 4th inning. Still a scoreless ball game here between the Fightin' Phils and the Sea Dogs. And the takeover on the play-by-play is my broadcast partner, Bob McCool.
All right, thank you very much, Jake. For the Sea Dogs, it'll be a 3, 4, and 5 due up. That's Alan Castro, Zach Earhart, and Ronald Rosario. No score, and we head to the top half of the 4th inning. I want to remind you that every Tuesday, all active military and veterans receive $3 off box seats thanks to Burke's Oral Surgery and Dental Implant Center. And speaking of a Tuesday, Phil's with this 3-game homestand against Portland will stay home. And they'll welcome the Binghamton Rumble Ponies in beginning on Tuesday. That's a 12 noon start time. So not only Tuesday is it active military veterans receive $3 off box seats, but you can do so with a noon first pitch on Tuesday against Binghamton. Alan Castro. First pitch from Chuck King is a called strike. The second one is lined in left field for a base hit. And that'll be the first hit of the ball game for the Sea Dogs, and it comes on a leadoff single by Castro here in the 4th inning. So King gives up the no-hitter with nobody on here in the 4th. That'll be now Zach Earhart's chance at the plate. Earhart struck out against King the first time up. King only with 2 strikeouts. He's given up 2 walks as well. Now pitching from the stretch. Big lead off of first, and the first pitch to Earhart is taken for a ball. No, actually it is a called strike on the outside corner, so it's no balls and a strike with Castro taking a big lead off of first and then a little bit of a bigger lead as King gets into his stretch. Lifted straight up, shallow center field. Dylan Campbell will drift over to his left, and he'll make the catch without a problem. That is out number 1 here in the 4th. I'll bring up Ronald Rosario. Rosario out on a fine diving play by the shortstop, Aiden Miller, diving to his right and taking a base hit away from Rosario his first time up. So no runs and a hit for the Sea Dogs, and no runs on 2 hits for the Fightins. Fightins had a couple hits in the first inning, nothing since. And the first pitch beats a ground ball to second. Stepping on this brag is Brito, and he'll make the relay in time for the double play. So Brito just stepped on the bag himself for the first out, and then the relay in time to Pinellas to end the inning. For the Sea Dogs in the 4th, no runs, a hit, no errors, and with the double play, nobody left on base. We'll take a timeout. Back at Running Fightin' Phil's Radio Network. We're scoreless in Baseball Town. Bottom half of the fourth inning, and Felix Reyes will lead it off for the Fightin' Phils. Klein Transportation is proud to be the official transportation provider of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Klein Transportation gets the R Phils through all their road trips throughout the 2025 season. For more information, go to kleintransportation.com. These two teams both went 3-3 in their final series before the All-Star break. Fightin' Phils on the road in Chesapeake went 3-3. And the Sea Dogs at home against Hartford lost the first 3 games of the series and won the final 3 games to split that series. Felix Reyes singled his first time up, and a big swing here comes up empty. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hand hitter is batting third tonight in manager Al Padrique's lineup. Reyes at 307 when the series began, was just coming, this is his first game back off the IL. 1-1 pitch to him. Is down low for a ball. 12 doubles on the season, 8 home runs for Felix Reyes to go along with 50 RBIs on the year. That's way outside. It's 2-1. It's 50 RBIs. It's 22 RBIs on the year for Reyes. Three balls and a strike to him. That's right there for a called strike 2. So the count now full. Again, Dalton Rogers has not walked a batter so far on the night. 3-2 pitch coming. Swing and a foul tip that the catcher Brannon holds on to. So Reyes is retired on a strikeout. Leading off here in the fourth. Third strikeout now for Rogers. And they've come in the last 4 batters. So he struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he has faced as Paul McIntosh now will bat. McIntosh lined a double into the right center field gap his first time up. His 5th double of the year. Very defensive and weak swing there for McIntosh. Fooled badly on the pitch. Change up from Rogers, and McIntosh is way out in front of it. Rogers, a native of Brandon, Mississippi, played his college baseball for Southern Miss. 0-1 pitch to McIntosh is down low for a ball. Nobu Yusuda is our home plate umpire tonight. Jamal Allen at first base, Nick Mull at third. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-hand hitting Paul McIntosh. That's way inside. It's 2-1. Rogers is 24 years of age. He's just 5'11", 170 pounds. Two-one pitch. Line into the gap, and that's going to be through for a base hit off the glove of a diving Marvin Alcantara at shortstop, and that just slowed it down, and Paul McIntosh is 2 for 2 with 2 hard hit base hits. A double and now a single. He is a 1-out base runner for the Phils here in the fourth for Alex Pinellas. Pinellas with runners at second and third after the McIntosh double back in the first inning. Hit one, skied one into shallow right field to end that threat. Swings at the first pitch here and fouls it off the face mask of the catcher, Brooks Brannon. It's no balls and a strike. Pinellas at 297 on the season. He's got 5 home runs and 24 RBIs. Left-handed hitter who did play in the Red Sox organization. A 1 pitch to him. Started and stopped. He did not go around, says third base umpire Nick Mull, who's now between the pitcher's mound and second base in the 3-man Eastern League umpiring crew. And Ellis was with Worcester, the AAA affiliate of the Red Sox, when he was released by Boston earlier this season and signed by the Phillies. Here's another swing and a foul tip from Pinellas. In 2024 playing for Portland, Alex Pinellas in 88 games hit .252 with 8 home runs and 57 RBIs for the Sea Dogs. So I think a little bit of extra momentum on the part of Alex Pinellas playing with his former team. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch is away, and he leaves it there. It's 2-2. Phillies are Pinellas' third organization. It was originally drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers out of Louisville in 2021. Here's a breaking ball that's on the inside corner. Kind of froze Pinellas for a moment, but Rogers missed it inside, and the count is now full. So the second time this inning that Rogers has been 3-2 on a batter. He's able to strike out Reyes. 3-2 here to Pinellas. Pickoff attempt. McIntosh not going anywhere. He scampers back to first. McIntosh, the runner at first. He's singled. 1 out. Bottom half of the fourth inning in a scoreless ball game. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Alex Pinellas. Drives this one down the right field line, but hooking foul. So Pinellas all over that sinker fastball from Dalton Rogers, but pulled it foul. And so the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. And McIntosh takes his lead off at first, does not have good wheels. 3-2 pitch again, way up high. It's off the glove of Brown. He's going to roll over the backstop. Not far enough that McIntosh could do anything other than jog to second after the walk. So Pinellas on board with a walk, the first surrendered by Rogers. And the Phils again have something going here in the fourth, 2 on and 1 out. And Dylan Campbell now will bat. Campbell ground out to short his first time up. So McIntosh now at second base, Pinellas at first. And the first pitch to Campbell's over for a called strike. Campbell with just 3 RBIs since joining the Fightin' Phils after his promotion from Jersey Shore. Did have 35 RBIs with Jersey Shore before his call-up. Looking for something here, 0-1. And that misses inside, it's 1-1. Lifts this one down the first base line. That's slicing foul off the end of the bat. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Dylan Campbell. Outfield for the Sea Dogs playing deep. Again, McIntosh not with great speed at second base. So if Campbell can find some green grass, we'll see how the Sea Dogs react to it, whether or not McIntosh will be able to score on it or not. 1-2 pitch, that's into dirt. Good block there by Brannon. That ball's at the backstop, and 2 runners are in scoring position. Instead, it's 2-2. Caleb Ricketts in the on-deck circle for the Fightin' Phils. Two-two pitch. Lined in the middle for a base hit. Here we go. We're going to find out. Ferguson will get the ball in, but McIntosh will slide home safely with the Phils' first run. Fightin' Phils take the lead 1-0. RBI single for Dylan Campbell. As I said, that outfield was very deep. And by the time Max Ferguson could get in on it, there was no hesitation on the part of Al Padrique to send Paul McIntosh. Campbell picks up his 4th RBI of the season. The Phils are on the board first. It's 1-0. Pinellas stops at second base. Campbell now at first base with 1 out, and Caleb Ricketts bats. Ricketts flew out to right field his first time up, swung on the first pitch he saw from Dalton Rogers. And the first pitch here, nope, gonna bluff Pinellas back to second base. Shortstop Marvin Alcantara with the left-hand hitting Caleb Ricketts at the plate. kind of sneaking in a little bit behind Pinellas, trying to keep him a little bit closer to the bag. Rogers delivers, and this time Ricketts takes the first pitch up high for a ball. Bottom half of the fourth inning, Phils get the first run across. Still 2 men on base and 1 out. Breaking ball is way up high again. It's 2-0, and now Brannon's going to call a timeout, go talk to Dalton Rogers a little bit, settle down his left-hander. Right fielder Alan Castro playing Ricketts to pull. Center fielder Max Ferguson a couple of steps to the left field side of center. So a big gap in right center field for left-hand hitting Caleb Ricketts, excuse me. Los Angeles Angels have gotten a couple of runs back on the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. Scored 2 in the top of the fourth to make it a 4-3 game. And Kyle Schwarber with a solo home run in the first. Bryce Harper with a 3-run home run in the third for the Philadelphia Phillies. 2-0 pitch coming to Caleb Ricketts. And that's down low. It's 3-0. So we'll see if Ricketts has a take sign here. Looks like he's got the green light. No indication from Al Padrique of the take. We'll see. 3-0. It's way outside. Doesn't matter. Easy take for Caleb Ricketts. It's ball 4. Not one of those 4 pitches to Ricketts was close. So the second walk of the inning now will load the bases. And that'll bring Eric Brito to the plate. There is action in the Sea Dog bullpen. And a conversation going to be had now. Looks like pitching coach Juan Rivera is going to come out and talk with Dalton Rogers, who was pretty much cruising. With the exception of a couple hits given up with 2 outs in the first inning, Rogers was cruising through the second and third. Trouble here in the fourth. Caleb Bolden, the right-hander, who's up in the Portland bullpen. So the conversation on the mound is over. Eric Brito will be the batter. Brito was also retired by Rogers on 1 pitch, his first time up back in the second inning. Again, Dalton Rogers got through the second inning on just 6 pitches thrown. Different story here in the fourth. Phils have the bases loaded and 1 out. First pitch to Brito is there for a called strike. Taken all the way after the 4-pitch walk to Ricketts. So infield on the corners, and Romero at third, Tibbs at first up. Alcantara at short, Leando at second back, hoping for a double play to get out of the inning. This one lined into right center field and falling fast. It's going to fall for a base hit. Pinellas will score. They have some trouble with it. That's going to allow Dylan Campbell to score as well, and Ricketts will get all the way around to third base. Between Castro and Ferguson in right field and right center, had some trouble picking it up. It just simply took a bounce away from Castro, and so 2 runs will score. The Phils now lead it by a 3-0 score. So it'll go as a base hit for Brito. And I believe they are going to charge an error on Castro on the play. So the second run will score on the error. It allows Ricketts to move up to third base. Brito at first, and Cade Fergus at the plate. He swings at the first pitch, lifts one into shallow center field. Should be deep enough for Ricketts to tag up. Ferguson makes the catch. Ricketts does tag up. The throw home is cut off. Ricketts will slide across with a run to make it a 4-0 game. A sacrifice fly and an RBI off the bat of Cade Fergus. And the Phils add on. Brito stays put at first base. 2 outs now in the inning. And that'll flip the lineup around for Aiden Miller. 4 runs across now for the Phils here in the fourth. And a runner at first and 2 outs for Aiden Miller, who's 0 for 2 on the night. flew out to center, struck out in his previous 2 at-bats against Dalton Rogers. First pitch here is down low for a ball. One 0 pitch is fouled straight back. It's 1-1. Good lead off at first for Eric Brito. 1 ball, 1 strike to Miller. Misses again down low. It's 2-1. The Phils have taken advantage of a couple of walks by Rogers in this inning. Had not walked a batter previously. It's 2-1 right now to Aiden Miller. That's way inside, almost hit him. It's 3-1. Got to think this might be the last batter for Rogers. Well, there is a lefty in the on-deck circle in Carson DiMartini, and it was a right-hander who was up in the bullpen. But this has been a struggle for Rogers here in the 4th. And misses again, ball 4. So Miller works the walk. Again, 3 now in the inning for Rogers. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the line. Here comes Chad Epperson to make the pitching change. 74 pitches surrendered for Dalton Rogers so far, and a bulk of them coming here in this 4th inning. And so the Phils have put 4 across so far here in this inning. And it's going to be an exit for Rogers. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back right after this on the Reading Fine Phils Radio Network. The Alvernia University Golden Bulls call the bullpen has been made. Right-hander Caleb Bolden coming in for the Sea Dogs. This is his 10th appearance of the season. He's made 4 starts. It's been a struggle. He's 0-3 with a 10.20 earned run average. In 15 innings, he's given up 21 hits. 17 earned runs have scored, and 19 strikeouts, 14 walks. He's given up only 1 home run. And the first batter who faces him is Carson DiMartini, and the first pitch from Bolden, is down low for a ball. First and second, 1 out. Phils with 4 runs here in the 4th and looking for more as they've batted around. Carson DiMartini, the 9th man to face, or come to the plate here for the Phils in this 4th inning. And this one's way inside. It gets away. It's going to roll all the way to the backstop. So that will allow Brito to move up to third base. Miller to second base now with a 2-0 count on DeMartini. So Caleb Bolton has come in and missed twice. Got to think that DeMartini's got a C1 here. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 runners now in scoring position for the Phils. Really try and bust this thing open. Does have a green light, fouls it straight back. So you got a pitch pretty much right that was center cut. It's 2-1. Outfield again playing DeMartini pretty much straight away and deep. 2-1 pitch. Fouls another one straight back. Just about on the same spot on the backstop. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Carson DeMartini. DeMartini has 7 RBIs since his promotion from Jersey Shore. Oh for 2 in the game with a ground out to second and a fly out to center. Bolden from the stretch. Delivers 2-2. Fouled it again off the backstop. Martini just a tick behind. That a fastball at about 95 from Bolden. Again, pretty much center cut. Felix Reyes in the on-deck circle hoping for a chance for the Phils. He started this inning. And actually started it by striking out. And the wheels came off the cart for the starter, Dalton Rogers. 3 hits, 3 walks for the Phils have done the damage. And DeMartini hoping to do some more. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Way outside, its count's full. There is a base open. 3-2 pitch, again, fouled straight back. DeMartini a little frustrated, but he's right there on those pitches. Just fouling them straight back to the batter's box, which generally is an indication that you're pretty close in the timing aspect of it. Just a little bit off. So good wheels on the base pass. Brito at third, Miller at second. And a big lead for Miller off of second. 3-2 again. Line into center field. Back goes Ferguson. Still going back, and he'll make the catch over the shoulder for the third and final out. And that'll do it for the Phils in the fourth. But they do bat around. They put 4 runs across. They did it on 3 hits. There was 1 error, and there was 2 men left on base. 4 complete in baseball town. Ready Fight Phils 4. The Portland Sea Dogs nothing. Welcome back to FirstEnergy Stadium with the Reading Fight Phils coming off a 4 spot in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Are on top now 4-0, and I am joined here in the top half of the 5th inning by Dr. Jim O'Donohue, Associate Professor of Physical Therapy at Alvernia University. We just had our Alvernia University Golden Wolves call the bullpen with that bullpen change for the Portland Sea Dogs as they lead off here in the top of the fifth with Brooks Brannon at the plate. But, Jim, I want to talk to you a little bit about that physical therapy program at Alvernia University. First and foremost, because when you talk about Alvernia now, you got to talk about the multiple locations. Yep. Is the physical therapy aspect of it on the Millmont campus, or is it in downtown in Center City, Reading campus?
We're still on Millmont. We're in the Tom and Helen Flynn Healthplex at the lower portion of the campus. Got some beautiful space there. It's wonderful. We're right outside the field house. And it's a great opportunity for our students to interact there. Again, some of our classes will move out there. It's a great location.
First pitch swinging is Brooks Brannon. He pops one up to shortstop. So one pitch and one out for Chuck King here in the top of the fifth inning as Max Ferguson now will bat. And physical therapy is a program, again, I know in my dealings in sports, I've run into several people who have graduated from the physical therapy aspect of Alvernia University, getting into personal training or getting into high school training and working with some of the high schools and doing the physical therapy aspect of high schools and high school athletes, a big piece of that.
Yeah, so we have two programs on campus. We have physical therapy and athletic training. Athletic trainers would be more out in the high school. They get involved, but we do get involved with sports physical therapy, sports medicine as well. So it's an area where physical therapists work along with a number of other settings. We're in hospitals and rehab centers. And
yeah, I mean, physical therapy is such a growing aspect throughout all of the health field. There are so many different places in terms of once you have that degree and where you can go and where you can go to work.
Yeah, there certainly is. We can work in acute care hospitals, rehab hospitals. We're in home health in the school districts, private offices. There's corporate physical therapy offices now. Private practices are big in this area. So we work in outpatient, inpatient, the acute care and long-term rehab centers as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for students to invest in their careers once they get out of school. A lot of great places to work with.
Max Ferguson at the plate. He's in a 2-2 count here facing Chuck King with one out in the fifth inning. The pitch from King is a bit low. It's 3-2. How long has Alvernia been offering the physical therapy aspect for education?
We've been there for 10 years. So our program opened in 2015, graduated our first cohort of students in 2018. So we've been going strong.
This pitch is lifted into shallow center field, and now back into the infield comes Aiden Miller, and he'll make the catch. So a couple of infield pop-ups so far for Chuck King to get 2 outs here in the fifth inning. That'll bring up Marvin Alcantara. So there are schools that do have physical therapy. There's schools that don't have physical therapy. What makes you so proud of what Alvernia has to offer to anybody who's going to enter into the physical therapy world?
Well, one of the things Alvernia really stresses is the idea of service to the community, and students in our program get opportunities to learn and serve at the same time. So we have a pro bono clinic over at Liggett Avenue near the Oak Brook housing area. We have we serve in Belize, where we bring a group of students there every year to help just a underserved area of people.
Here's a line drive into center field, a little looper off the bat of Marvin Alcantara that's going to fall in for a base hit. That'll be the second hit of the ball game for the Sea Dogs. Alcantara's a 2-out base runner here in the fifth for Abram Leendo, the 9-hole hitter who walked his first time up. So, again, a runner at first and a 2 outs. Top half of the fifth inning, a 4-0 lead for the Fightin' Phils. And, of course, Alvernia University has been a big part of things here at FirstEnergy Stadium. We got the sign out left center field right in front of the bullpen. Our bullpen sponsors on a regular basis. Why the ties from your perspective, Alvernia University, Reading Fightin' Phils? What makes it such a great marriage?
Well, they're so, such an ingrained part of the Berks County Reading community. The Reading Phillies have been here for such a long time, and Alvernia's been around for moving on 60 years. And so, to both invest in the community and love to be part of this community and serve the area.
And such a growing school. It's an amazing identity that what was Alvernia College and has long now been Alvernia University. It not only has its footprint, as we talked about in Millmont, grown tremendously, but as I said, with the whole college town in Center City, Reading, that has become another piece of it, and more area of that aspect of the college town is also been growing for Alvernia University.
Yeah, we love the College Town campus. You know, a lot of our healthcare programs and engineering are downtown. We may be moving down there at some point. We don't know, but we interact a lot down there. We love the opportunity to be part of downtown Reading and help make Reading a better place.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Leando. It's balls in the dirt. Good block by Ricketts, and Alcantara stays put at first base. And so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leando. It's Chuck King trying to work his way through here this top half of the 5th inning. Coming out of the stretch here, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one a slow roll down the third base line, but foul. And so, Jim, when you ultimately made the decision to tie yourself into Alvernia University, what was it about Alvernia University that drew Dr. Jim O'Donohue to Alvernia?
Well, you know, it was the opportunity to give back to the profession. I've been a physical therapist for about 32 years at that point. So, and it was a great opportunity to work with students. I worked with students in the clinic, and so it just sort of was an opportunity to grow myself as a professional and to grow the next generation of physical therapists.
So you went not necessarily through the educational route of working away as a college professor, but coming from the professional side as a physical therapist to go back into teaching students to become physical therapists yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I had got my clinical doctorate, you know, about maybe 18 years ago, and so that gave me the opportunity to be part of a university and to teach.
Leando with a deep fly ball to left field that Cade Fergus will make a catch on just at the base of the warning track, and that'll do it for the Sea Dogs here in the 5th inning. An opportunity for us as well to say goodnight to Dr. Jim O'Donohue. But Jim, thank you for your service, to your work in the physical therapy, and with Alvernia University as well. Thanks to Alvernia University for being a great partner with us here with the Reading Fightin' Phils.
Well, we're happy to do that, and thanks for having me here.
You betcha. We'll take a timeout. It's a 4-0 advantage for the Fightin' Phils as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We come back after this. All right. 2-2, Jim. Thank you. All right. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning, and the Reading Fightin' Phils again with a 4-0 lead. And Caleb Bolton back out there for another inning of work. He came on in relief for the Sea Dogs in the 4th inning and was able to retire the last batter, and that was Carson DiMartini, the man who led off the inning but ultimately did not contribute to the inning was Felix Reyes. As he stands in, he struck out his last time up, singled back in the first. So 1 for 2 so far for Felix Reyes. And the first pitch here, off-speed pitch, he's out in front of it. It's no balls and a strike. This inning presented by Cornwall Manor, a unique and charming community nestled on a 190-acre wooded campus with many walking trails, including Lebanon County Rail Trail. A 1 pitch to Reyes is way outside. It's 1-1. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for Portland. 4 runs on 5 hits, and no errors for the Fightin' Phils. Bolton, the right-hander, takes a look over the top of his glove and then winds and delivers 1-1. This one's lifted into center field, and Ferguson is over, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Brings up Alex Pinellas. Excuse me, we'll bring up Paul McIntosh. McIntosh got the inning started last inning with a single, came around to score. So McIntosh off to a good start tonight. He is 2 for 2. doubled and singled in his 2 plate appearances. And this one up the middle, but right at the shortstop, ultimately Alcantara. Had to make a couple steps to his left, and that was it. And Alcantara, the big hop and a thrust across for out number 2. 2 quick outs here in this 5th inning. Now to bring up Pinellas. Pinellas walked and scored in the 4th. Also flew out to right field. First pitch here, swings and misses. Updated Citizens Bank Park. The Los Angeles Angels have now tied that game up as they bat now in the top half of the 6th inning. 4-4 the score. So the Phils jumped out to a 4-0 lead. 0-1 pitch to Pinellas is way outside. It's 1-1. So Jesus Luzardo ends up going just 4 2/3 innings, gives up 7 hits and 4 runs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Alex Pinellas. Lines this one deep into left field. Going to be a long run for Earhart back, but he'll make the catch just before he gets to the warning track in the corner in left field. And that will do it for the Phils in the 5th as they ultimately go 1, 2, 3 here. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 5 complete. It's 4-0. Fightin Phils on top. Sure. Well, we head to the top half of the 6th inning alongside Jake Starr. My name is Bob McCool, and with that, we find out we've got an Alvernia University Gold Wolves call the bullpen, and it is Jack Dallas who has come in here and now taken over for Chuck King.
Yeah, it looked like King kind of left a little abruptly, so hopefully everything is okay. He threw just 71 pitches, which, I mean, it's not a low number, but it's also kind of not what he's been at. So hopefully it was just kind of a workload thing, but we'll see. But nonetheless, though, Jack Dallas is in. 23rd appearance, 0-1, a 4.08 ERA, 35 1/3 innings pitched, 12 walks, 38 strikeouts, 246 opponent's average.
And the first pitch to Mikey Romero leading off the 6th inning from Jack Dallas is a ball. And this one is lifted into center field. Going to be a long run for Dylan Campbell. Back to the track. He will not get it as it one hops off the fence. And Romero will roll in with a stand-up leadoff double here in the 6th inning.
So 3rd hit tonight for the Sea Dogs. The first extra base hit comes the first batter after Chuck King exits tonight's game.
17th double of the year for Romero. He a leadoff base runner here in the 6th. And it will bring up James Tibbs. Tibbs 0 for 1 in the game. Did walk back in the 1st inning against Chuck King. 1 of 2 walks surrendered by King. Gave up 2 walks. Struck out 2, gave up 2 hits as well. Obviously did not give up a run in his 5 innings of work. And the first pitch from Dallas to James Tibbs is over for a called strike. Tibbs, left-handed hitter. Coming off a series against Hartford where he was just 1 for 11. And takes that one up and away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 for his last 12. The fly out to left field his last time up. 5 RBIs for Tibbs since joining Portland. 1-1 pitch. Over for a called strike 2. So Jack Dallas gets ahead of James Tibbs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now Tibbs will call timeout. Again, Tibbs, part of the trade package that the Boston Red Sox acquired from the San Francisco Giants, the Rafael Devers trade, just a little over a month ago. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Tibbs goes down swinging for out number 1. Obviously the first strikeout for Dallas. And that'll bring up Alan Castro. Castro 1 for 2. He got the first hit of the game for the Sea Dogs back in the 4th inning, leading off the 4th inning. First hit that Chuck King had surrendered. A 1 for 2 with a ground out to second along with it. There's a ball in the dirt, good block by Ricketts. Castro, the number 22 prospect in the Red Sox organization before the season began. He's now 22 years of age. Turned 22 at the end of May. Signed by the Red Sox from the Dominican Republic in 2019, an international free agent. 1-0 pitch to the left-hand hitters outside. It's 2-0. Last year spent most of the season in Greenville before a call-up to Portland. Played 28 games with the Sea Dogs at the end of last year. 2-0 pitch. Beats this one on the ground towards Benelis at first. He'll take the big hop and step on the bag all by himself. On the play, Romero moves up to third base as Castro is retired for the second out here in the 6th. Then I'll bring up Zach Earhart. Earhart 0 for 2 on the day. Just 11 RBIs on the season for Zach Earhart. 2 of them coming in the series against Hartford. Fouls this pitch straight back, and it's no balls and a strike. So Mikey Romero, the runner at third base. 2 outs. Jack Dallas trying to work through the leadoff double. The right-handed hitting Zach Earhart at the plate. 0-1 pitch. Beats it foul on the third base line. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Three hits now in the ballgame for the Sea Dogs with that leadoff double from Romero. Have to wait for Cade Fergus to get back in left field. He had to chase down that foul ball down the third base line. Over for a call, strike 3, and Dallas does work out of any further trouble with a couple of strikeouts mixed in, including, and the last one to get Earhart to end the inning for the Sea Dogs in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Phil still on top, 4-0. Established in 1928, the Manor Golf Club is one of the oldest public courses in eastern Pennsylvania, located between Philadelphia, Lancaster, and Allentown in Sinking Spring. It offers a true test of golf on a championship-style course. Visit themanorgolfclub.com for more information. Caleb Bolton still out there for the Portland Sea Dogs. He came on to get the final out of the 4th inning and then worked his way through a 1, 2, 3, 5th inning. So back out here to pitch the 6th. Again, Bolton had started 4 games for Portland on the season, so no issue for him in terms of the number of pitches thrown. He's only thrown 15 pitches so far as Dylan Campbell will lead it off. Campbell with an RBI single his last time up, 1 for 2 on the night. And the first pitch to him is way outside for a ball. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing after a cutter away from off the plate. Bolden's 1-1 pitch. Again, tried to check his swing. Again, chased that pitch. Slider well off the plate. Campbell had just made up his mind he was going to swing. Tried to stop it, but had no chance to do so. And now he's buried 1 ball and 2 strikes, and will call timeout. One-two pitch. Rolled down the third base line, but foul. Count remains 1-2. Campbell to be followed by Caleb Ricketts and then Eric Brito. That's 6, 7, and 8 in tonight's Fight Phil's batting order. Phil's and Sea Dogs back at it tomorrow night. 6:45 his first pitch, and of course the series will wrap up on Sunday with a 5:15 first pitch. Phil's will stay home, however, and they will welcome the Binghamton Rumble Ponies to town beginning on Tuesday at 12 noon. 1-2 pitch is driven into center field. Ferguson takes a couple steps back and will make the catch over his shoulder for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. And as Caleb Ricketts walks to the plate, it's time for us to take a look at this day in baseball town history. Presented by Body Zone Sports and Wellness, the official workout facility of the Phils. And we are going back a bit on this day in baseball town.
This is back quite a bit.
July 18th of 1908. I had to do a double take for a second. I don't remember one going back.
Do you remember this?
No, I don't. I vaguely missed it. There's Ricketts with a little check swing.
There's people in this press box, perhaps all the way on the other side, that think I was probably there.
That's probably true. At the North 11th Street grounds, Jack Emerson pitches the entire game. That's not a surprise in 1908. But he delivers the game-winning single with 2 outs in the bottom of the 16th inning as Reading beats Johnstown 4-3. I said 16 innings. He completed a pitch to complete game. Catcher Francis Hartman, who enters as a defensive replacement in the 4th inning, throws out 5 would-be base stealers in the contest. July 18th of 1908 on 11th Street in Reading. This day in baseball town history. Quite a significant piece of history.
16 innings.
16
and
inning
you get the
complete
walk-off
game.
hit.
Yep, that's pretty significant. 2 balls and a strike to Caleb Ricketts with 1 out here in the 6th. Swing and a miss. He swings over the top of a cutter. It's 2-2.
Reading bullpen quiet, so it looks like Jack Dallas will get another inning. He's turned himself pretty much into a consistent 2-inning guy. He's overall looked pretty good.
Again, Chuck King started, went 5. Dallas pitched the 6th, and as Jake said, will come out to pitch the 7th. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Caleb Ricketts. Just misses. The count is full. Mentioned this when Ricketts was up the last time. Castro plays him to pull in right field. Ferguson slightly towards left and center. It's a huge gap in right center field for Caleb Ricketts. 3 balls and 2 strikes to it. Fisted out in front of the plate. Brandon off with a mask. He'll make the throw down in time for first base with Tibbs covering. That's out number 2.
Good play by Brandon. And I mean, look, that is a tough play to make for a catcher. You're watching the replay on our MILB TV feed because, you know, Ricketts is a catcher, so he knows how hard that play is. He's taking that inside running lane, so Brandon has to really step out, kind of throw it over Ricketts at kind of an obscure angle to get that out. So it looks easy, I think, on TV, but it's a much harder play than it looks.
Brings Eric Brito to the plate. Brito with an RBI single his last time up. Actually, 2 runs scored on the play as there was an error by the right fielder Castro on the play that allowed a second run to score. And the first pitch to Ricketts is over for a called strike. In addition to all of that, as Jake is talking about with the play with Brandon, you got a big dude running down the first baseline at Caleb Ricketts. And Ricketts is 6'3", 225.
Not your typical size for a catcher.
Correct. So you got to deal with that as well. You got a big target. You got to get that throw either over or around. You got to get out far enough from the plate to make sure you get the throw down to first base and around Ricketts. No balls and 2 strikes now to Brito. Now he'll call time. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes as pitch is low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caleb Bolton was a little bit sketchy when he first came in, but he's settled in nicely now. He's a strike away from getting out of this 6th inning with no further damage. Brito trying to change that, and he will not as he takes that for a called strike 3. And back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Bolton. As the Phils go in order here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. 6 complete in Reading, and the Fightin' Phils lead it 4-0. Top half of the 7th inning. And the 7th inning presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fightin' Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. As Jake said, Jack Dallas back out there to pitch the 7th inning after giving up the leadoff double to Romero in the 6th, and then coming back to get the Sea Dogs in order in inning number 6. He'll face Ronald Rosario, Brooks Brennan, and Max Ferguson due up for the Sea Dogs here in the 7th with the Phils on top 4-0.
And just in total, I mean, another really good outing for Chuck King. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, couple of walks, 2 strikeouts through 71 pitches. 45 of them were for strikes.
And first pitch from Dallas to Rosario is a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes to Rosario, who's 0 for 2. Lined out on a great diving play by Aiden Miller at shortstop, hit into a double play in 2 plate appearances. Checked his swing here and was not able to hold up, or it was a called strike, one or the other. It doesn't matter. It's 1 ball and a 1 strike, and now Rosario will call time.
I believe Nobu Yasuda, the home plate umpire, said he went. I mean, it looked like it was a strike from what we had up here, but
right.
It looked like it was on the swing.
1-1 pitch is over for a called strike 2. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Rosario, leading off the 7th for the Sea Dogs. Started again, and this time they'll say he did not go around, so now the count is 2-2 to Rosario. 2-2 pitch, lined into center field. That's going to be a base hit. Didn't hit it hard, but got enough of it in the right spot for Rosario. He is a leadoff base runner for the Sea Dogs on their 4th hit of the ballgame. And I'll bring up Brooks Brannon. Did want to make mention our Fightin' Phil's alumni report tonight presented by Deer Country. A guy who has kind of flown under the radar in Philadelphia, but was here in Reading not too long ago, and that's Max Lazar, who came in for Jesus Luzardo in a bases-loaded 2-out situation against the Angels in what had become a 4-4 game, and Max Lazar was able to get out of that. Max Lazar's done a nice job for the Phillies. And the first pitch to Brooks Brannon is outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Unfortunately, the Phil's bullpen has now given up the lead. It's now a 6-4 advantage for the Angels as Tyler Banks has given up a couple runs in the 7th. And it's now 2 balls and no strikes to Brooks Brannon, who's 0 for 2 in the game. Flew out to center field, popped up in the infield in his 2 plate appearances. So a runner at first base, nobody out. And 1 ball and 1 strike actually to Brooks Brannon here for the Sea Dogs. The big swing comes up empty. It's 1-2. Philadelphia Phillies led it 4-1 in Philadelphia, but it's now 6-4 Angels.
Yeah, Taylor Ward just hit a 2-run go-ahead home run.
Just about every run in that game has come by way of a home run. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's outside. It's 2-2.
In the non-baseball but still local sports world, Philadelphia Eagles get their Super Bowl rings tonight.
Ah.
In case anyone forgot, the Eagles did win the Super Bowl this past year.
I thought I heard something about that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brooks Brannon. This one lifted into center. Campbell started in. Now he's got to go back. Still going back, all the way back, and he'll make the catch right at the point in straightaway center field for out number 1. Great running catch by Dylan Campbell in straightaway center field.
388 feet off the bat of Brannon. Watch Campbell. I mean, he looks like a routine play to him, and that is not an easy play. Brannon needed another couple of feet on it, but Campbell, Phillies like the way he plays center field, and you're seeing it right there. He's had himself a good night, couple of nice plays out there. Single, scored a run.
That'll bring up Max Ferguson as Rosario had to scramble back to first base after the catch by Campbell. 1 out here in the 7th. And the pitch to Ferguson is over for a called strike. Dallas takes a look over his shoulder at Rosario. No indication he's going anywhere. 0-1 pitch to the plate. Outside, it's 1-1. No runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Sea Dogs. 4 runs on 5 hits. Phils have not committed an error. 1-1 pitch. Outside again, it's 2-1. Ferguson hitting just 183 when the game began. He does have 5 home runs and 17 RBIs, and Felix Reyes is really deep on him in right field. Swing and a miss, way out in front, and it's 2-2. So Ferguson thinking he's going to get a 2-1 fastball, got a slider instead. And now it's 2-2. Misses up high, count is full.
Yeah, borderline pitch there. Kind of surprised Ferguson took it just with how close it was. And, I mean, it was up, but pitch that Ferguson definitely could have drove if he got the barrel on. But let's see if Dallas can come back here and get Ferguson.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner started and stopped. This one is driven into the gap in right center field. Campbell will make the catch. Taking extra bases away from Ferguson for 2 outs here in the 7th.
Another great play by Dylan Campbell. A slider that Ferguson got a lot of the barrel on, and Campbell tracks it down. We don't get the stats at this level, but I love to see just how much ground Campbell has covered on the last two ones. I mean, it has to be over 100 feet, I think, on each. And I don't know which one's harder, the one kind of going into the gap more on a diagonal or the one where you're pretty much going straight back. I'd be willing to argue it's the one where you go straight back, but still, I mean, just too tough and very impressive plays by the center fielder.
Marvin Alcantara swings at the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Yeah, it's a great question to figure out which one's the more of a challenge, because the one, it's just you against getting to the gap. The other one, you have those intricacies because you're going, as I said, you're going right into that triangle in straightaway center field. Is the ball going to hit off the wall on either side of you, or are you going to have enough room to get there? No balls and a strike to Alcantara. This one up the middle, slow roller, and it gets through for another base hit. So the two weakest balls hit in this inning have been the two hits for the Sea Dogs. They've got 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, fastball just up in the top of the zone, and a good job by Alcantara just getting the bat head on and then pushing it through the middle. And back to just, the Campbell point here real quick. I mean, go out there, throw a football, throw a baseball, and have one pretty much go right over top of you where you're running straight back, or have one, off to the side where you have a chance to kind of look over your shoulder. Which one's easier and more natural to catch? It's the one over the shoulder.
Yeah, you can kind of see yourself gaining on it when it's hit away from you. When it's a different story when you're running straight back. And again, you're running straight back very blind as well, not knowing for sure how much more room you got to go. As Leendo now will bat with 2 on and 2 out. The 9-hole hitter is 0 for 1 on the night. Did walk back in the third inning. Top of the order, and Mikey Romero in the on-deck circle. So Dallas really trying to zero in on the 9-hole hitter here, but he misses up and in, ball 1. 4-0 Fightin's lead it. Top half of the 7th inning. Sea Dogs have 2 on and 2 out. Campbell trying to cheat in a little bit here at straightaway center field. If, in fact, Leendo can get the ball on the grass and maybe give himself a shot to throw out the runner Rosario from second base. Leendo fouls this one out of play. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Reading's got Andrew Walling throwing in the bullpen. Of course, the hope is that he gets the next inning, but also wouldn't surprise me if this is Dallas's last hitter with 2 lefties coming up.
1-1 pitch is lined into center field. It is going to be a base hit. Campbell over. He'll make the catch, and he'll throw to third instead, but it is not in time as Alcantara goes first to third. Sea Dogs get a run, makes it a 4-1 ball game. RBI single for Leendo, his 17th RBI of the season.
Yeah, there's some singles peppered through the middle. That's been the key this inning for the Sea Dogs. The ones, as Bob said, hit the hardest have been the ones that Campbell has caught. And kind of like we speculated here, that is going to be the end of the night for Dallas. They'll go to the lefty Walling with the 2 lefties at the top of the Sea Dogs lineup.
The Alberta University Golden Wolves call the bullpen has been made for the left-hander Walling. And the Sea Dogs are not done yet. They've got 2 on and 2 out here in this 7th inning with a run across. We'll take a timeout. Back with more on the Ready Fight Phil's Radio Network. The left-hander, Andrew Walling. The Alberta University Golden Wolves call the bullpen. Walling will come in now and inherit a 2-on, 2-out situation.
Andrew Walling making his 22nd appearance. He's 1-3, a 4.81 ERA, 24 1/3 innings pitched. He's got 4 saves, he's allowed 19 hits, walked 13, struck out 26. Opponents hitting .207 against the 25-year-old lefty this year.
So again, as Jake said, the lefty comes on to face a couple of lefties. Mikey Romero, who doubled his last time up. And the first pitch to him is a slider that's out away. It's 1-0.
Walling has inherited 6 runners this year. Inherits 2 this inning. Has not allowed a single inherited runner to score yet this season.
First and third here. 1-0 pitch. Lifts this one into center field. Campbell's going to get another chance. Back to the wall. Up, and it's off the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes Leando. He will score. Romero headed to third, and he will get there with a stand-up 2-run triple. It's a 4-3 ball game. So Mikey Romero strikes again.
2-run triple for Romero. Got a fastball pretty much right down the middle, and he drilled it straight away center field. Campbell, not really much he could have done there. That was high off that center field brick wall. Gets himself a triple. So just like that, the Sea Dogs are right back in this game, trailing by 1.
And now that tying run is at 90 feet away, and James Tibbs is at the plate. Tibbs 0 for 2. And another lefty-on-lefty matchup that Walling misses outside for a ball.
So line closes on Dallas. 3 earned runs, 4 hits over an inning and 2/3. He struck out 2 and walked none.
1-0 pitch. This time Tibbs got pulled out in the bucket a little bit there, and he swings through it. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on the slider from Walling. Mikey Romero with his 4th triple of the season at third base, right back with a slider, and again he kind of freezes Tibbs a little bit. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Romero with his 37th and 38th RBI of the year as well. Looking to be the tying run here. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, that will do it. Walling ends up striking out Tibbs to end the inning, but the Sea Dogs do some damage. They got 3 runs. They did it on 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 big one left on base. 7th inning stretch in baseball town. The Phillies still on top. They lead at 4-3. Caleb Bolden still working for the Portland Sea Dogs as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning, brought to you by Swartz Carlton PC. Have you or a loved one been injured? Get justice. Call Swartz Carlton today at 1-800-JUSTICE. So it'll be Cade Ferguson in the top of the order for the Phils here in the 7th inning. What was a 4-0 lead for Reading is now a 4-3 Fightin' Phils lead. Phils with a 4 spot in the 4th. Sea Dogs with a 3 spot in the just completed top half of the 7th inning. So Phil's trying to reignite the offense a little bit, going up against Caleb Bolden, who despite a 10+ earned run average when his appearance began, has retired the Phils in order now for 7 straight batters as Fergus leads off. Fergus 0 for 1, did have a sacrifice fly and an RBI his last plate appearance. And the first pitch to him is over for a called strike 1. Fergus to be followed by Aiden Miller and Carson DiMartini for the Phils here in the 7th. A 0-1 pitch from Bolden. Way outside, it's 1-1.
Jorge Juan is up and throwing in the Sea Dogs bullpen, so it appears that he'll be the next guy out, whether that's in this inning or a little later on.
1-1 pitch there for a called strike 2. It's 1-2. That's just the 33rd pitch that Bolton has thrown since coming on. Again, he came on in the 4th inning, but the Phils had that 4 spot in motion. Fergus fouls that one straight back. Had a healthy cut there. It stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. Over for a call, strike 3. Fergus again a strikeout victim. Second time tonight he has struck out. Second strikeout now for Bolden. And I'll bring Aiden Miller to the plate. Miller 0 for 2. He did walk his last time up. Flew out to center, struck out in his first 2 plate appearances. Those coming against Dalton Rogers, who started for Portland tonight. And the first pitch to Aiden Miller is up and away for a ball. And make it 2 balls and no strikes as Bolden misses way outside. And that's there for a called strike 1. 2-1 now to Aiden Miller. Miller at 233 on the season after his 0 for 2 so far. And make it 2 balls and 2 strikes as Bolden comes back to even a count. Beats this one foul, stays alive at 2-2. Miller got off to a slow start this season, then got the batting average up over 200 relatively quickly. And it's began to slowly climb and got it up over the 230 mark, and it's kind of been locked in that 233 range to where it is right now to 237 for a better part of about 2 months. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Slow roller out in front of the plate. Bolden, the pitcher, will field it. He'll make the throw in time for out number 2. So that'll bring up Carson DiMartini. DiMartini 0 for 3 on the night. Ground out and a couple of center field flyouts. The left-hand hitting third baseman.
Wouldn't shock me if this is the last batter no matter what for Bolden. He's at 41 pitches. So if DiMartini reaches, maybe we'll see Jorge come in, or if he doesn't reach, then maybe Jorge gets the 8th.
2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th, and the first pitch to DiMartini checked his swing. Went in and out of the glove of Brandon. He did not swing, so it's it's 1 ball and no strikes to DiMartini. Big swing there. DiMartini comes up empty. It's 1-1. DiMartini's hit just 1 home run since his call up from Jersey Shore. He had 8 home runs in his time with the Blue Claws. 53 games. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just reaches out and pokes this to left center field, and it's over the head of Earhart and off the wall. DiMartini will cruise into second base with a stand-up 2-out double.
Good swing there from Carson DiMartini. Took an off-speed pitch outside part of the plate. Just keeps his head on it, keeps the barrel through the zone, and he drives it over the head of Zach Earhart in left. Hustled in the second with his 6th double since joining Reading last month. And now let's see if Reyes can put some insurance on. But like we said, this is the last batter for Bowdoin, so Chad Epperson's out. Looks like Juan Jorge is coming in, Bob.
So when we come back, we'll tell you about the new man who is indeed coming in from the Alvernia University Golden Wolves bullpen for the Portland Sea Dogs when we come back to FirstEnergy Stadium after this. Well, the Alvernia University Golden Wolves call the bullpen has been made, and it'll be the big right-hander Jorge Juan who will come in now for the Sea Dogs.
Juan, who has split the season between Portland and also Columbus in the Braves system. In total, between 14 appearances, 0-2, a 5.75 ERA, 6.75. 16 innings, 11 hits, 23 walks, 21 strikeouts. He allowed 3 home runs. Opponents hitting at .212 against Juan this year, after being signed with Boston to a minor league deal on May the 27th, after being released by Atlanta shortly before.
He is 6'8", and the right-hander will face Felix Reyes with DeMartini at second base and 2 outs here in the 7th inning with the Phillies on top 4-3. Felix Reyes 1 for 3 so far on the night. First pitch into dirt, 1-0.
Reyes, his first game back, missed about 15 days with a right hip contusion. Suffered that injury in the finale against Somerset a couple of weeks back.
1-0 pitch to him. Down low again, it's 2-0. Back-to-back 95 on the radar gun from Juan. Not too many people are going to throw a fastball by Felix Reyes. 2-0 pitch. It's in the dirt again. It's 3-0. So he hasn't been really close on any of his first 3.
Reyes, Miller, Fergus all tied atop the team's home run leaderboard with 8. Let's see if Felix Reyes can take sole possession of first place.
Does he swing 3-0? He does not. It's ball 4.
You almost wonder if that was kind of a intentional walk of Reyes. You have the base open. Now, granted, you have a guy coming up in Paul McIntosh who's got 2 hits tonight, including a double, and he went 5 for 10 last week at Chesapeake. So he's swinging a good bat, but I guess maybe the Sea Dogs saying we'll take our chances here against McIntosh and not against Felix Reyes, who's Reading's leading hitter.
So he's at first, DeMartini at second. 2 outs, and McIntosh, who's 2 for 3, takes another one down in the dirt. So 5 straight now from Juan out of the zone since he came in. Got to think that McIntosh.
It's taken till you see one.
Take one till you see a strike. Yep. He hasn't really been all that close on any of the 5. And make it 6, as that one's a little bit closer, but still not a strike.
I mean, just gave the bat on the shoulder so you get one.
Yep.
And the guy on deck, Alex Pinellas, it's been a very consistent bat the last 6 weeks. So, if you walk and turn the baton over, nothing wrong with that.
2-0 pitch. Runners take off. It's in the dirt, and Brandon will have no shot at him. Both runners will move up.
That is a great call by Al Padrique. A pitcher who's struggling with command knowing you're probably going to get something out of the zone, and now you clear open another base. So you really got to be careful if you're Jorge Juan.
So DeMartini now at third base. Reyes now at second base. And 3 balls and no strikes to Paul McIntosh. That's there for a called strike 1.
And that's not a pitch he's going to do anything with. That was up and in. You could argue that could have gone either way. It did clip the inside part of the zone, but that's not a hitter's pitch. And still, 3-1. You're looking 1 pitch, 1 spot if you're McIntosh. Keep a small zone.
Lines this one into center field. It's going to be a base hit. DeMartini will score. They're going to wave Reyes around. The throw from Ferguson is not in time. A 2-run RBI single for Paul McIntosh. A 6-3 Fightin Phils lead.
Have a night, Paul McIntosh. Ropes a 2-run single, got a 3-1 fastball down in the zone, and he just puts it right over the head of Liendo, the second baseman. And 2 RBIs, got a run, 3 hits tonight. Good night for Paul McIntosh.
And how big is those stolen bases now? Because it gets you a 2-run single instead of a 1-run single. McIntosh at first base with 2 outs for Benelis. And that's up and in for a ball. So the Phils have taken advantage of walks in this ballgame. It's good to see somebody doing it to the Phils doing it to somebody else for a change. They had 3 hits and 3 walks in the 4-run 4th inning. As Benelis fouls this one out of play. They take advantage of the wildness of Juan, who comes in to face Reyes, walks him on 4 pitches, and then falls behind McIntosh, who makes him pay. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Alex Benelis, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run score. Lifts this one foul out of play again. It's 1-2. RBI number 22 and 23 on the season for Paul McIntosh, who takes his lead off at first. Benelis over for a called strike 3, and that'll do it for the Phils in the 7th. But 2 more runs come across for Reading. They do it on 1 hit. Excuse me, on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left, 7 complete. It's now 6-3. The Reading Fightin Phils on top. A 2 spot for the Fightin Phils in the bottom of the 7th. They lead at 6-3. We head to the top of the 8th and take over play-by-play. This is my broadcast partner, Jake Starr.
Thank you very much, Bob McCool. Top half of the 8th inning. 6-3 is our score. And let's have the baseball town beast down there. That was a fun one. Haven't seen that one in quite a while. And to get big and strong, you got to eat. You got to eat good food. You know where you got to get good food? Chick-fil-A.
Where's that? That's a good place to get
They
some
serve
protein.
quality food, which has been a priority since day one, from chicken sandwiches and nuggets to our famous waffle fries. There's something for everyone. Visit us at Broadcasting Square and Wyomissing, Fish Street Highway in Reading, and Exeter Commons in Exeter. Chick-fil-A is a proud 2025 Fightin Phils team feed partner. So 6-3 Reading leads top 8. Alan Castro, the 3-hitter, leads off, and Andrew Walling's first pitch home. This is a bit down for a ball. It's 1-0. If you're just joining us, it's been a couple of crooked numbers for Reading tonight. 4 in the fourth, 2 in the seventh. Next pitch to Castro, swung on, slice down the right field line. It'll go foul. It's 1-1. Portland put up 3 in the top half of the seventh, primarily off of Jack Dallas. Well, all 3 runs were charged at Dallas, though 2 inherited runners were given up by Andrew Walling. 1-1. Swinging a little tapper foul behind home plate. Tommy McCullum is getting up and throwing in the Reading bullpen. Picked up a save in Sunday's series finale at Chesapeake. No runs over an inning and a third against the Bay Sox in the finale. 1-2, up tight to Castro. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Castro switch hitter. He bats from the right side. Splits pretty heavily favor him from the other side of the plate. He swings at the 2-2, ground ball towards short. Miller gonna have to hurry throwing a couple of hops in time. And that is out number 1. 6-3 goes the put out. And that'll bring Zach Earhart to the plate for the Sea Dogs.
Yeah, it was a very soft hit from Castro. Did hustle down the line and took a little bit of extra time on a big hop to get there for Aiden Miller. But he does have a very strong arm at shortstop.
I was talking about it, I believe, last week down in Bowie, just about the improvements of both Miller and DeMartini from that side of the infield. The error numbers are down. First pitch to Earhart's in tight for a ball, 1-0. And just from a eye test standpoint, just from watching them, they just look a lot smoother out there and a lot more comfortable at their respective positions. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Aiden Miller is very adamant that shortstop is his spot, and the Phillies are giving him every opportunity to claim that. And, he stands 11 errors through 86 games. It was a number that was higher early on, but it's, a pretty respectable number for a shortstop. Your shortstop always is going to probably make the most errors because they're always going to see the most action. 1-1 the count to Earhart is a breaking pitch, a bit down, 2-1.
It's going to be a very interesting final 2.5 months for Aiden Miller and what his progress is at the end of 2025 in the eyes of the Philadelphia Phillies organization.
2-1 home is swung on and a chopper third. It's underneath the glove of DeMartini, who was backing up on it. Earhart rounds first, heads towards second, but will head back to first. Does not test the arm of Cade Fergus. We'll see what they ruled that, whether it's a hit or an error.
It's a really tough play for DeMartini, and in between Hopper, and he kind of had to go to his knees and hope they are going to give him an error.
It's going to be an error. So that's going to be the 8th since DeMartini has been called up to Double-A. And Al Patrique is out, so it looks like that will be it for Andrew Walling. So whole exit. Tommy McCullum's coming in. 1 out, top of the 8th, Reading on top, 6-3. We'll be back with this Alvernia University. Go to the bullpen right after this. Top half of the 8th inning, Reading on top 6-3. New pitcher in out of the Alvernia University bullpen. It's the right-handed arm, 26-year-old Tommy McCullum.
20th appearance of the season for McCullum. He's 0-2 with a 2.36 earned run average. He had kind of become the closer for the Phils, if you want to call it that, although nobody calls it that anymore. But he did give up the save opportunities. Now 5 out of 7 in save opportunities in his time with Reading. He's got a couple of holds as well. He's pitched 26 and 2/3 innings. He's given up only 15 hits, 24 strikeouts, and 6 base on balls.
So Ronald Rosario will be the first he faces. He inherits Zach Earhart on first. It's technically the responsibility of Andrew Walling. First pitch up in tight for a ball. It's 1-0. But if that run does score, it won't be an earned run against Walling because Earhart did reach on an error from Carson DiMartini at third, just prior to Walling exiting this game. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Now, of course, we'll see whether the plan is a 5-out save for Tommy McCullum. Got to think that's kind of where their thinking's at right now. McCullum has given Reading a handful of 4-out, 5-out, and 6-out saves this year. 1-1, swung on, fouled back, hit up the stanchion. A nice catch by a fan. About 10 rows deep in the main grandstand. Packed house tonight. Pretty much every group area, every grandstand is filled to the brim. For wrestling night, fireworks after the game, post-game wrestling. Instead of the usual post-game concert, the 1-2 misses a bit up. It's 2-2.
Well, the question then would be whether it's McCullum to just get out of this 8th inning and then go to Jaden Estanista, who did pick up a save against Chesapeake.
2-2, swung on, a little flare through the whole left side, base hit. Earhart goes up to second, so it's a 1-out single for Ronald Rosario, 2 on, 1 out for Brooks Brannon.
Guess a lot of that's going to depend on how effective McCullum is right here.
Yeah, McCullum started the year with Jersey Shore. Really good start with the Blue Claws. Came to Reading on May the 1st after 7 appearances with High A. Was basically lights out to start. Was 4 for his first 4 in save opportunities. Then July 5th at Somerset, July 11th at Chesapeake. Blew the first 2 saves of his Double-A tenure. First pitch to Brannon is fouled back, 0-1. Somerset, it was 3 runs in 1/3 of an inning. Chesapeake, it was an interesting kind of situation. Reading was up by 1 last Friday night. McCollum gave up 3 straight hits. That tied the game. It was runners on second and third, no outs. 0-1. Upstairs, 1-1. And with the winning run on third in the bottom of the 9th inning of a tie game, McCollum went on to strike out 3 straight base socks. So pretty much a tale of 2 outings in 1 for McCullum last Friday. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2, because he gave up 3 hits to blow the save, but then he struck out 3 to keep the game going. Then he came out Sunday and got a 4-out save against the Bay Sox, so obviously you hope to see more of that and less of the Somerset and first Chesapeake outing. McCullum 5 for 7 in saves this year. It's been a quiet night for Brooks Brannon. He's 0 for 3. He has reached base in his last 2. Pitch home, swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Brooks Brannon. First strikeout for McCullum. Just a 6 in total for Fightin Phil's pitching tonight. And that'll bring Max Ferguson to the plate. He's also 0 for 3.
Well, McCullum got the strike 1 on a fastball at 96, which is up a little bit of a tick for him in terms of velocity, but then he comes back with back-to-back cutters that were sub 90 in terms of velocity, and he had Brannon way out in front.
First pitch, Ferguson swings, fouls it straight back. It's 0-1.
McCullum's a big dude, but he's not an overpowering pitcher. He kind of
he'll get up to 95,
right,
but
which is exactly what he was right there. But that again, that's on the high end for him. But I think he's deceptive in that regard, because I think when you look at him, you think he's going to be a guy who's going to come in and throw some nasty cheese at you, and I don't think he doesn't really do that. Again, 95 is pushing the higher end of it.
0-1. Bit down and away to the lefty bat. It's a ball and a strike. Quiet night for Ferguson. He's 0 for 3.
And I actually think, Jake, that the 95, 96 that he's at tonight is up a little higher than he was last year when he was in Reading, where he was
92,
maybe
93.
Yeah. So I think the velocity is up a little bit.
1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2.
That's a great changeup.
McCullum told me about a month ago that the Phillies kind of basically shut him down from games for a couple of weeks in March and wanted him to work on some things. Kind of that's why he started in high A, because he was working on things. And clearly those things are working.
Right. That's a great changeup there to get him way out in front.
1-2. Swinging a little tapper, straight back foul. It'll stay a ball and 2 strikes.
Came right back to it. Ferguson at least got a piece of it that time. So now you got to think, all right, look, you fooled him really bad with the changeup. Now he's a little bit closer to the changeup. You probably want to go away from that now. Maybe you go back with that cutter.
See if they climb the ladder with the fastball here. 1-2, 2 outs to count to Ferguson. McCullum fires, swing and a miss, struck him out. That's exactly what they did. So back-to-back strikeouts from Tommy McCullum. Gets him out of the top half of the 8th inning. It's no runs, 1 hit. There was an error. 2 men left on base for Portland. Here in the top of the 8th, we'll head to the bottom half of the frame inning. If the Fightin' Phil's still on top, it's 6-3. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Take a look at our Fightin' Phil's team leader, presented by PA Army National Guard. Focus on the pitcher last inning and perhaps the pitcher in the 9th inning, Tommy McCullum. Leads the team in ERA 2.36, average against at 1.56, and also the team leader in saves of 5. And we'll see if he gets a chance to pick up save number 6 in the 9th.
Well, the bullpen's quiet right now, so all indications are that Tommy McCullum will get the 9th.
It's quiet, so Campbell leads off. Jorge Juan's back out, his first full inning of work, as Reading's on top 6-3, and they'll send 6, 7, 8 up. First pitch to Campbell is taken down. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Slider at 81 from Jorge Juan. Campbell tonight 1 for 3. Does have an RBI and a run scored. Next pitch misses down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Home. Campbell watches a slider in for a strike. It's 2-1. And close the line on Caleb Bolden. 3 solid innings for him. 1 hit, a run allowed. No walks and a couple of strikeouts for Caleb Bolden, who goes a Double-A high 3 innings on the year. Next pitch misses down and out. It's 3 balls, 1 strike to the right-handed hitting bat, Dylan Campbell. With his hit tonight, he's sitting at 196. Does have a home run. He's driven in 4 this season. 3-1 is taken on the corner for a called strike. It's 3-2. Fightin' Phil's on top 6-3, bottom half of the 8th inning. Reading looking for their 2nd straight win and a win to start the post-All-Star break portion of the schedule on a high note. So game 1 of a 9-game homestand. So a lot of baseball over the next couple of weeks here at FirstEnergy Stadium. 3-2, swing and a miss. Campbell chased after a slider down low. So that is strikeout number 2 for Jorge Juan, and that'll bring the catcher Caleb Ricketts to the plate. Ricketts 0 for 2 tonight, did walk and score a run. First pitch to the lefty bats, taken for a ball. It's 1-0. Ricketts has flown out the right. He's grounded out to the catcher. Also had that walk back in that 4-run fourth inning for Reading, which is the difference in tonight's game. 1-0 is on the corner for a strike, 1-1. Another slider from Juan. Very heavy slider usage for him. Juan in his second organization this year. Began the season in Atlanta's system. The 1-1 misses down and into the lefty bat. It's 2-1 to Caleb Ricketts. Ricketts, a 25-year-old catcher tonight. Pitch home, he swings and he pops it up. High in the air in the infield, left side. Mikey Romero, the third baseman, into the grass, makes the catch. And that is out number 2. And that'll bring Eric Brito to the plate.
Well, you can see the allure for somebody like Juan. He's 6'8", and he's very much over the top as well. So it really looks like he's coming in on top of you when he delivers, and he's plus mid-90s with his fastball.
Brito in from the right side, 2 outs, bottom 8. Reading leads at 6-3. First pitch home, and he'll swing and he'll loft it straight back, foul and out of play. Goes over our heads here in the press box. It's no balls and 1 strike. Brito 1 for 3 tonight. Drove in 2 with a single back in the 4th. The 0-1. Brito will take it upstairs, 1-1. Fastball 96 from Jorge Juan. Just glanced over at Reading's bullpen. Still quiet. This looks like Tommy McCullum is going to get a chance to pick up save number 6. 1-1. Brito swings through a slider. It's 1-2. Reading, who was swept by Portland here at FirstEnergy Stadium to open the season, April 4th to the 6th. It's been a rough go this year against the Sea Dogs. It's the 15th matchup between the teams. Portland holds an 11-3 edge. Also a much different Portland team from early on in the season. The 1-2 is swung on, grounded by Brito, 2-hopper to short, and Al Contreras up with it, fires the first in time. And that retires the side here in the 8th. So Reading goes down in order. Went to the top half of the 9th inning. It is winning time for the R Phils. They lead at 6-3. Back after this on the Fightin' Phils Radio Network.
We head to the 9th inning. Before we do that, tonight's attendance at FirstEnergy Stadium is 7,542. Thanks to our friends at PSECU for presenting tonight's attendance. PSECU is proud to be one of the largest credit unions in Pennsylvania. So good start to this homestand, and it will continue for tomorrow and the Sunday against the Portland Sea Dogs. Tomorrow night at 6:45 and the series finale on Sunday at 5:15. But then don't forget, the Fight Phils will stay home, and they will take on the Binghamton Rumble Ponies beginning on Tuesday. And Tuesday, the series gets underway beginning at 12 noon, and then it will continue right up and through Sunday. So a 9-game homestand for the Fight Phils beginning tonight and continuing tomorrow night here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Fight Phils need 3 more outs to get the win to get this series getting started in a positive manner. They lead at 6-3, and Tommy McCullum is indeed back out there to try to lock down what he hopes to be a 5-out save, but he's got 8, 9, and 1 to work through here And Marvin Alcantara gets it started with a line drive into right center field for a base hit. So the Sea Dogs get it rolling right the way they want to, which is to get their leadoff man on board. And that'll bring up Abram Leendo. Leendo 1 for 2 himself on the day. He singled, drove in a run, and scored a run back in that 3-run 7th inning. Alcantara also a piece of that. So right now Alcantara's got 3 hits, and Leendo 1. They've got 4 of Portland's 9 hits. And the first pitch to Leendo from McCullum is over for a called strike 1. So McCullum again with 5 saves in 7 opportunities. Then to lock one down here. No balls and a strike to Leendo. And that's over for a called strike 2. So McCullum quickly gets ahead of Leendo. No balls and 2 strikes. Mikey Romero in the on-deck circle for the Sea Dogs in the top of the order. He's had a big night for Portland. No balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Could not catch up to the high fastball, and Leendo goes down on 3 straight pitches. 3 strikeouts now for McCullum since taking over with 1 out in the 8th inning. So here comes here comes Romero. 2 for 4 on the night with a couple of extra base hits, a double and a triple, and a couple RBIs to go along with it. And the first pitch to him is low for a ball. So Romero now with 29 extra base hits with his 2 tonight, and with his 2 RBIs now has 38 on the year. Runner at first, 1 out. 1-0 pitch. Over in the outside corner, it's 1-1. Romero, the number 11 prospect in the Red Sox organization before the season began. Drafted by the Red Sox in the 1st round in 2022 out of Orange Lutheran High School in Southern California. It's way up high. It's 2-1. San Diego native is Romero. He was the 24th player selected in the 1st round. 2-1 pitch coming to the left-hand hitter. There for a called strike 2. It's 2-2. Of course, the Major League Baseball draft has held this past weekend during the All-Star break. Phillies went pitcher heavy. 9 out of the first 10 players they selected were college pitchers. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mikey Romero. Slow roller right side, and it's a fair ball. Benelis will make the play and tag the bag. Did it hit Romero's foot or not? Apparently it did not. Romero didn't go out of the box right away. And so it was a fair ball, and Benelis makes the play by himself for out number 2. On the play, Alcantara moves up to second base. Phils are not worried about his spot with a 3-run advantage, and James Tibbs now will bat. Tibbs 0 for 3 on the night. First pitch to him is up high for a ball. So Alcantara runner at second base with 2 outs in the inning. And left-hand hitting James Tibbs at the plate. Cullum delivers 1-0. Just misses outside. It's 2-0. Tibbs walked back in the 1st inning, flew out, and struck out twice. Cullum's 2-0 pitch. That's there for a called strike 1. I think Tibbs wanted to see one first. You got it there. It's 2-1. Alcantara busy dancing off the second base. Again, Phils are not worried about him at all. Just focused on getting that 3rd out. Alcantara does take off, and he will move up. And the pitch is up high. It's 3-1. That'll be defensive indifference as Alcantara moves up to 3rd base. 3 balls and a strike now to James Tibbs. Now McCullum will call time. Wants a little rosin bag. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Tibbs tried to hold up and could not. Count is now full. So the faithful here at FirstEnergy Stadium, 7,542 strong, now get on their feet as the Phils are one strike away from getting this 9-game homestand off to a swinging start. James Tibbs, the hitter, 3 balls and 2 strikes to him. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will do it. Tommy McCullum records his 4th strikeout, and the Fightin Phils win the ball game and get that homestand off to a positive feel with a 6-3 victory. We will take a timeout. We will be back with our White Star Travel postgame show right after this on the Ready Fight Phils Radio Network. Tonight's postgame show was presented by White Star Travel, the official group sponsor of the Reading Fight Phils. Visit whitestartours.com for more information. Well, as I said, going to break, it was a good start, or is a good start for the Reading Fight Phils on this 9-game homestand as they get it off to a W. And they're now 1 game under 500 in this second half of the season at 9-10. So after the 3-3 road trip to Chesapeake to take on the Bay Sox in Bowie, Maryland before the All-Star break, Phil's coming back out of this All-Star break with this 3-game stand against Portland and then 6 against Binghamton, all here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Maybe getting themselves a little bit of a positive feel and see if they can't get that record up and above 500. They are 1 step closer to that now at 9-10 with this 6-game winning, this 6-3 win tonight. Chuck King started for the Phils and went 5 innings. He'll get the win for Reading. And Tommy McCullum ends up getting the 5-out save for the Reading Fight Phils, his 6th. We'll talk about that and more, including a rundown of all the scoring when we get back with more of our White Star Travel postgame show on the Reading Fight Phils Radio Network and our flagship 830WEU.com when we come back to FirstEnergy Stadium after this. Welcome back to our White Star Travel post-game show. Again, the Fightin' Phils get the win tonight by a final score of 6-3, and here's how it all unfolded. The Reading Fightin' Phils sent right-hander Chuck King to the mound, and left-handed pitcher Dalton Rogers got the start for the Sea Dogs, and both pitchers were in control through the first 3 innings before the Fightin' Phils drew first blood, and they did it in a big way in the 4th inning. It started with one out, and it was Paul McIntosh who got it started with a base hit. That was followed by Alex Benellis, who walked. Up until that point, Dalton Rogers had not given up any walks, but things changed drastically for Rogers and the Phils' fortunes in that 4th inning. So McIntosh singles with 1 out. Benellis then walks. Dylan Campbell followed with a base hit that brought in McIntosh. Dylan Campbell's 4th RBI since joining the Fightin' Phils, and the Phils are on the board with a 1-0 advantage. Then Caleb Ricketts walked. Again, another walk surrendered by King. That loaded the bases with 1 out. And Eric Brito followed with a base hit into right field that scored Benellis, and Dylan Campbell was able to come around, as well as Alan Castro in right field had some trouble with it. So it was an RBI single for Brito, his first RBI as a Fightin' Phil, and it turned out to be a 2 runs in the inning. And with it, Ricketts was able to move up to third base, and Cade Fergus then drove one into center field that was deep enough for Ricketts to tag up and score the sacrifice fly, the 21st RBI of the season for Cade Fergus, and it turned into a 4-run inning for the Fightin' Phils with that sacrifice fly. So 4 runs on 3 hits and 3 walks in the mix, and the Phils were able to end up putting 4 across, and Rogers ultimately was not able to finish the inning. Aiden Miller then walked. That brought the end of the night for Rogers. They brought in the bullpen and Caleb Bolden, who had struggled up until this point, but he ended up pitching pretty well for the Sea Dogs for a while, including getting Carson DiMartini to end the inning. After the Phils batted around the 4th, they put up a 4 spot, and they lead it 4-0. It stayed that way. Chuck King was done after 5. Jack Dallas came on to pitch the 6th, and after giving up a leadoff double to Mikey Romero, got the Sea Dogs in order in the 6th, but then ran into some trouble in the 7th. Ronald Rosario started with a single, and then after getting 2 fly balls on 2 great plays by Dylan Campbell in center field, one all the way back to the very point in center field at the triangle, right when the 2 walls come together, in straightaway center field at the 400 mark. Dylan Campbell caught one and then took away a double off the bat of Mac Ferguson for the 2nd out. But then Marvin Alcantara followed it with a single. Abram Leendo then followed that up with a single as well. That brought in the 1st run. That made it a 4-1 game. And then Mikey Romero came up and hit one off the center field wall for a 2-run triple. His 4th triple of the year, is 37th, 38th RBI of the year. That made it a 4-3 game with Romero now at third base. But James Tibbs then struck out to end the inning, as Dallas was able to work out of any further trouble, and it was a 4-3 game. But the Phils did what you like to see happen after the team puts up a 3 spot, makes it a 4-3 game. In the bottom of the 7th, the Phils came right back, and they did it with 2 outs. After Cade Fergus struck out and Aiden Miller was out on a little swinging bunt out in front of the plate, 2 outs in the inning. Carson DiMartini served one in left field for a 2-run for a double with 2 outs, his 6th double of the season. Felix Reyes then walked on 4 pitches after they went to the bullpen and brought in Jorge Juan. Felix Reyes walked on 4 pitches. That brought to the plate Paul McIntosh, who followed it up with a single that brought in both DiMartini and Felix Reyes. And the Phils had countered that 3 spot on the top half of the 7th inning with a 2 spot of their own in the bottom half of the 7th, and it pushed it right back to a 3-run Phils lead at 6-3. Alex Benellis then struck out that ended the inning, and it also ultimately ended the scoring as Tommy McCullum came on to get a 5-out save, and the Phils take the W with that 5-out save. So it goes this way for the Sea Dogs: 3 runs on 9 hits and an error, and 8 men left on base. For the Fightin' Phils, 6 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and they left 5 men on base. Chuck King goes 5 innings, and again, what left after 73 pitches. And so hopefully nothing wrong with Chuck King, but ultimately the Phils decided to pull him after 5 innings. He gets the win. He's now 5-3. Dalton Rogers takes the loss. He is now 2-3, and Tommy McCullum recovers and gets the save, and a 5-out save is that after blowing a save in that series against Chesapeake. McCullum comes back to get the save, his 6th of the year. Game played in 2 hours and 41 minutes and played in front of a great crowd again tonight here at FirstEnergy Stadium, 7,542. They are waiting patiently for the beginning of a fireworks show here at FirstEnergy Stadium. Tomorrow night, more of the same and even better. Tomorrow night is Margaritaville night. Tribute to the great Jimmy Buffett tomorrow night here at FirstEnergy Stadium, and a mega blast fireworks to follow the largest fireworks show in stadium history. All tomorrow night, 6:45 is first pitch. And, of course, the series wraps up on Sunday with a 5:15 first pitch. Kids get an Alec Bohm T-shirt on Sunday as the giveaway item. So plenty of time to come on out and see the Fightin' Phils over the course of this weekend as the Fightin' Phils and the Portland Sea Dogs go toe-to-toe for 2 more nights. Portland with the loss falls to 7-12 on the season. They are now 41-45 in 2025. And with the win, the Phils are now 1 game below 500 for the second half. So hoping they can change that tomorrow night, get that back to 500 with a win tomorrow night. They're now 9-10 in the second half and 34-52 overall on the year. That will do it for tonight's game. Our pregame guest tonight was Nick Dunn. You'll hear more of that interview tomorrow night with the pregame show here on 8:30 WEEU.com, beginning at 6:30. Jake Starr spending some time with Nick Dunn. And we'll have the call of the game for you beginning again at 6:45 on WEEU. Again, the Philadelphia Phillies fall to the Los Angeles Angels tonight at Citizens Bank Park, 6-5. Phils and Angels back at it tomorrow night at 6:05 on the radio on WEEU in Reading. We'll have our call of the game online at 8:30 WEEU.com. And, of course, that is a free listen to online on our good partners, the WEEU in Reading. So the game, again, goes to the Reading Fightin' Phils. They win the ball game by a final score of 6-3. For Jake Starr, my name is Bob McCool. As always, thanks for listening to Reading Fightin' Phils Baseball. Hope you'll do it again tomorrow night. Again, back here at 6:30 for a pregame show. 6:45 is first pitch from Baseball Town. We'd love to see you right back here at the ballpark tomorrow night. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have yourselves a great evening.